Hi, guys.
Hello.
Yeah.
Welcome. Welcome to the Six Pack Podcast, episode 29.
Also known as Natural Six Light. Action Surge Light?
Action Surge Light,
Action
probably,
Surge
yeah.
Light.
Action Surge Light, yeah.
Action Surge Light.
Shan is here as usual, which is great. We are joined by Andy and Short Trek Hero for the first time. We will get to Short Trek here in a second to introduce themselves and for us to ask our questions, which we have not asked for some time. Shannon,
Here.
do we have any housekeeping?
Well, number one, I left my AirPods in under my headset and it was actually starting to hurt. So I apologize for that. That was my housekeeping. I don't know if you noticed that. I was like, oh, wait a second. And I had to stop every thought.
Did not
Okay.
notice that.
Housekeeping? I don't think so. We're back
We
after
are.
being gone for a fairly long time. But it's, for fun reasons.
1 week off.
Yeah.
Cool. Andy, can you remember anything that we should have done from last episode?
No.
Excellent. Well, without further ado, then, welcome, Short Trek.
Thank you very much.
Lovely to have you.
Thank you.
Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Not too much to tell, I think. But my name is Herco in real life. I go by Short Trek Hero on most online platforms. And I live in the Netherlands, and mostly in a not too big of a town, somewhat to the east of the center of the Netherlands. And I am working as a software engineer by day, and I like to do all kinds of stuff besides that. And one of the main things is, of course, enjoying the stuff Natural Six puts out, which is why I'm here.
Excellent. I will start then with, how did you find this crazy crew of Natural Six?
Well, the short answer is, I think, just through the YouTube algorithm.
Okay.
Then it's, of course, what fed the algorithm. And I think it's mainly because I started following most of the Baldur's Gate 3 voice main cast actors. And I think based on that, the algorithm put Natural Six in my feed. A little bit too late for me to join the Kickstarter, but I think I started watching from episode 5, and then of course episodes 1 through 5. And yeah, that's basically the start of it.
Excellent.
And I only knew Doug and Holly before Natural Six.
Okay.
So yeah, Holly through Night City Wire for
Okay.
Cyberpunk, and Doug, of course, through The Witcher. And I later later learned that I actually had seen him before in the HBO miniseries Band of Brothers, where he has a small part as a chaplain, I think. But I didn't know that it was him, so I didn't didn't really know that until they put out the video that listed all the things they did before. I did not know Harry, did not know Alex, did not know Ben, did not know Eva.
Very good. I think the next question, it would be appropriate for Andy to ask. He's now looking for the notes to figure out what the next question is.
Yeah, you guessed it.
As our resident.
Yes. What is your D&D/TTRPG origin story?
So it's all a long time back, so I have to think a bit about it. I have never actually played D&D at a table, so my D&D experience is mostly about from computer games and stuff like that. But Baldur's Gate 3 is the most recent, but that of course is not fully rules written. Solasta I think comes a bit closer, and of course I've looked into Solasta 2, which maybe we'll get on to a bit later. But my real TTRPG experience has, I think it's been almost 30 years since I last played at the table. So it's been a while. It started in the mid to late 80s and sort of ended in the mid to late 90s when I actually had time to play the table. I played various systems, but not D&D itself.
Very cool. Shannon, are you ready for the next question?
I can be. Sorry, I'm being a multitasking, hardworking boss queen. So this is a Harry staple. One day he shall return to ask this. See how quickly I was able to swerve right into what we were talking about. I'm always paying attention. This is a two-parter, your favorite die. I love how it still says favorite dice. Your favorite die, and out of the polyhedrals, and your favorite number, and it does not have to be on that die.
Right. So I would have to say, if this is allowed, my favorite die would probably be the D100. And I had actually tried to look to find my old actual D100, the round ball thing, golf ball, but I couldn't find it, so I don't have it to show you here. So the D100 would be the favorite, and my favorite number is 13 because that's my birthday.
Perfect answer.
Excellent.
Perfect answer.
Short Trek, this is the final and most important question. Which Final Fantasy is the best Final Fantasy?
I'm staying unmuted for this bit.
Yeah, you better. You'll be so disappointed.
No.
I've never played any Final Fantasy game.
That's okay. You
So
wouldn't be
I
the
really-
first person.
I really can't tell you. So I'll just have to pick 13 because it's my favorite number.
Fair enough. Lightning's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
The people do like Lightning Farron and do beg for a re-release. So I think that's a fair one.
Yes. It's the most misunderstood Final Fantasy, potentially. Yeah.
It's very fun to me that, and obviously, now the precedent is broken, so it doesn't matter anyway. Because I was gonna say the joke about it needed 3 parts to tell its story, which is very funny now because Square Enix's biggest game is now a 3-part game a game that needs 3 parts to tell its story. So yeah, I started it because I did buy it shortly after it came out, but I did put it down and I never picked it up again. But I never had any hatred in my heart for it. I'll say that because some people truly have hatred in their heart for the 13
For
trilogy.
13, yeah.
Yeah.
Good. Excellent. Well, lovely to have you, Short Trek.
Thank you very much.
Let's do episode 28 review. Shannon.
Yeah, I stayed unmuted because I saw that was next.
Do you have the comments
Yes.
handy?
Yes, I do. Let's see. So we've got some Greedfall talk.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Mark being our mortal enemy. Yeah, that's true. Let's see. We've got Short Trek here. So, for his comment, which is perfect. I forgot. Yeah, this is 2 episodes ago. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm reading it, trying to see the best way to. Yeah,
I think we'll get
we
into.
We were definitely very close there on that prediction, because so essentially there was a timeline prediction, which was that 50 was making clothes and partying, and 51 was Carmen / finishing up official business. So
Yep.
a little bit of half right on both accounts because the party started right at the end of 50 and finished up in 51. And 51 did have the Carmen business, but they are not done in Taliska. They're almost done, though. They will be wrapping up. So then, let's see. Talking about Legends of Akaroth, because of the Kickstarter was wrapping up soon-ish. Yeah.
Yeah, it's they got enough, right? For the
Yeah. They surely did.
for the one shot. So
I forgot to pledge again. So.
I was not looking hopeful, to be honest with you, but they managed in the end, which is great. Cool. That's probably about it. I don't know if we got anything else. And Short Trek's right here, so we can ask him any questions regarding his comments in a second. Cool. All right, let's jump in the news then, I think. News. Let's have a look here. All right, let's hop over in our lovely screen sharing here. So we got a lot of stuff, I would say. We have, the merch reveal on Thursday, right? That's when that video is going out, right? In fact, I should have the schedule here. Yes. AMA out tomorrow. Merch drop stuff. Obviously, we had Redacted get revealed. Are we excited about a studio, guys?
Very much.
Yeah.
Looks very cool.
Yeah, very proud, very excited for
Yeah,
them.
very happy. Very happy
it's-
for them. Yeah.
It's nice to have news. Listen, I love news that benefits me. But it's kind of nice. Everybody does. Everyone's a little bit selfish. I think it's foolish to think that you're not. And I also think it's and I've talked about this before in terms of like Claire Obscure. I think it's foolishness to act like selfishness is a necessarily bad trait in a person. Everybody's a little bit selfish. It's part of being human. Everybody's got a little part in their heart that makes them want to think about themselves sometimes. And it's nice to have like a big news that has nothing to do with us, but is like big news for the future of Natural Six, and that we all had a part in this happening, just like we had a part in the whole thing happening in the first place. And I'm just very proud of them. I'm very proud of and I've said this to Holly, I've said this in comments and stuff, like I'm very proud of where they've come, how far they've come, and where they've yet to go. And this is a big step and a very exciting step, and I'm happy for them. And it doesn't need to benefit me for me to be happy for them.
Nope, 100%.
Nope.
100%. Very happy for them. I think lots of people happy with the P.O. box with a place where they can send some goodies for the cast and get things passed along, which is great.
So how many of the 5, I think, redacteds in the original message have now been revealed?
It depends on how seriously you take that number, I think. Sometimes I
true.
think Holly was having a little bit of silly fun.
A little bit of fun.
Yeah, because I think the studio fills out quite a few redacteds, if I'm being honest, in and
Yeah.
of itself.
I think they reference it several times, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would say the
MCM might have been a little slightly
Yeah.
redacted.
I
Yeah.
would say MCM, the studio, the P.O. box, and probably the last thing is the merch drop. Short Trek, yeah.
It's either the merch drop, I think, or the Legends of Akaroth.
Yep.
Maybe.
That'd
That's what I
be
was
your
thinking.
5
Yeah.
if
So
you've
that's
got
all
the
of
Yeah,
Yeah.
it sounds about right.
yeah. So yeah, lots of cool stuff going on. I think you're probably are you too late still to get your questions in for the AMA?
Probably.
I think, yeah. I would imagine.
Because I think
So-
they said they did they were last minute in putting out the request for last questions. when they posted it yesterday.
They're filming tonight, I think.
Yes.
Yeah,
Do not
it's way
forget,
too
we're filming this tonight. This literally went out like 2 hours ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. So leave your questions. It's not going to help you now because our episode will only go out tomorrow.
Yep. Like, that's the other thing I was thinking. I was too polite to say it.
Yeah.
But in my head, I was thinking,
Sadly.
wait, by the time this comes out, it won't even matter.
It won't matter. Yes, we're unfortunately not broadcasting this live.
No.
Although maybe one day.
Oh, God.
Too much pressure.
Can Shan handle?
Here's the problem. I will definitely curse. Like, it's hard enough to keep myself so polite.
Behave yourself. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really hard.
Well, if we did it on Twitch or whatever, it probably would be less of an issue, right?
Yeah.
Cool. Can you guys remember the Chaos Awards?
Ooh,
Maybe
I
we
was
just
listening
run
at
down-
work.
Let's do the rundown of the questions, shall we?
Yeah. Yeah, because I was listening while I did
We
dishes
will
at
try
work.
to
So
be as prompt as we can be. Let's have a look. Okay, let's. Okay, let's take these.
I lied to
babies.
Holly. I had more than 6 pages left in this notebook, but still not enough to cover episode 51 and
And 52.
Action Surge.
Or-
I don't
and
think.
50, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I had enough to do.
Okay, here we
both.
go. Let's not. That's too late. Ba, 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 ba.
Making this window bigger so I can actually read. Now I have to cover myself up over and over again.
Okay, so let's go. Let's not do that. Let's see if we can do this. No. Okay, I'm going to do this, I think, without sharing. Let's see how this... there's probably too many of them for us to go through here, but... oh, those were the first ones were... let's just do the ones that were multiple choice, shall we?
Mhm.
All right. Can you guys remember what you put for strongest don't encourage them energy?
Radiant.
Radiant.
Yeah, radiant. Yeah, definitely.
All right. Best at getting what they want without looking like they asked.
Dolly.
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 Mm-hmm. Commitment to the bit.
I think I put I.
Yeah, I think so as well.
I think I was high up there. I think Radiant actually won it in the cantrip.
In the cantrip, yeah. I think I
Yeah.
chose
Terrible.
Kelness, actually.
To be fair, any answer in that is valid, really.
That's true, yeah. Best accidental authority figure.
LON.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think so as well.
And finally, catastrophic confidence.
I put Kel
Radiant.
for this one.
Yeah.
Because the Panther.
The
And I also didn't want to give
Pantherness?
anybody. I wanted to make sure everybody was nominated at least once in my vote anyway. And so because of that, and because like sometimes he'll do stuff forgetting that he can't do that, and I think that's really funny of Doug. So I put Kel for the last one.
Good. All right. Cool. Let's go. Let's try and go back. Good. That all works. Cool. Excellent. Good. Okay. Okay. That's fine with me. Why do we have... It's so strange. What a weird thing. Good. Okay. back to our lovely notes. Cool. All right. Quick run through then of the cast news. Greedfall 2, of course, came out. Kenneth has been playing it. I think Bard has finished it even. Both of them saying that they liked it. I've only caught one of Kenneth's streams so far. Andy or Short Trek, are either of you guys playing Greedfall: The Dying World?
I'm not.
I'm not.
Shan, are you playing Greedfall yet?
I'm not playing it. I want to play them.
Hmm.
But obviously things were a little bit crazy last month, so I didn't pick up either of them like as soon as they dropped. And I've spent so much money now that even though I'm still spending a little money, I'm trying to be thoughtful about it. So I'll probably buy them like after my credit card bill rolls over. Plus I'm in like Endwalker, so it's like I haven't really been playing anything but Final Fantasy 14.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'll go into that later. There's another reason why, but yeah. So
Cool.
they're on my list, but not yet.
Yes, I have played about 25 minutes of Solasta 2.
Something about that just makes me laugh.
Yep, that's about as much as I've done. I made it through the prologue, basically. And I have met Ben's character.
He's here. He's always here.
Andy and Short Trek, have you guys played any Solasta 2 yet?
I have, yeah.
Have you finished to the end of the early access then, Short Trek? No.
Not even close, I don't think. I think I'm a little bit farther than you, but
Okay.
not by much.
You're level 2 then already.
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I think I just got level 2. So, yeah, getting there.
But I haven't left the first city yet, so.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just, I think, before there. So, cool. Yeah, I was pleasantly surprised with how little jank there was.
Yep.
Quite impressed with how things were. And I'm excited for where they go from here, to be honest. Yeah. Have we got any other cast news? BAFTAs are this week, I think.
Jeez, I forgot.
I think
What
they're this
day?
week. BAFTA
I have to see if I can watch.
Game Awards.
I'm opening all week this week, 5 days in a row,
No,
so I'm sure I'll be here.
17th.
17th. I think I
thought they
have
were.
that
I thought it was the
schedule.
9th, but
Let me see. I might be around. Because I do like watching with the gang.
yes. There are several nominations for our good friend Ben Starr and Expedition 33. And unfortunately, Alex did not get in the short list for best performance or leading performance in a leading role, I think, is the...
Yeah. So my friend and I talk a lot about the awards.
Mhm.
There's been a lot to talk about this year. He's like... It's not that he's unhappy for Expedition 33, but it does look like Expedition 33 has kind of shown... Not the game itself, it's not the game's fault, has shown a lot of weaknesses in all of these awards. But this was the one he actually got mad about. And I was with him on this. All love to Troy Baker. I'm actually angry he keeps getting nominated for Indiana Jones. And even my friend said this, not me, Alex Jordan should have been up there instead of him. The thing is, and Ben's talked about this on Action Surgeon, I cannot help but agree. Sometimes an imitation of a real person does not mean that you are the best actor for imitating a person that already existed. And having a really good Harrison Ford what's the word? Imitation, whatever.
Impression, yeah.
Impression, thank you. When you're already up for another award, that makes me angry. The fact that he keeps getting nominated for 2, any opportunity that there's both. I don't think he needs to be nominated for Indiana Jones. Does he do a great impression? Yeah. Oh, yeah. He's really good at his job. But I would rather see him nominated for the weird things he's doing in Death Stranding 2 without me having played it, just watching clips of him, than to see him nominated for Indiana Jones. And even if it wasn't Alex, I do think another actor should be in that place. But my friend was the one who was like, why isn't Alex Jordan nominated? And I was like, that's a great question,
Good question.
isn't it? So, like, obviously he has less beef with, like, the Claire Obscure of it all. Like, obviously it is what it is. Only one award actually managed to do the proper thing, which was separate Ben and Jen, but it is what it is. However, I do get quite angry seeing, I've already forgotten his name and I literally said it 10 seconds ago.
Troy Baker.
Troy Baker. Well, his name is Ben Starr. But Troy Baker, I love him to death. He's one of my favorite video game performers. And I have no beef with him personally, but I do take a lot of issue with all these awards choosing to either give him 2 nominations or like to not value his original performance more than his impression performance. I personally think that he should be getting more recognition for being a weird little man in a Hideo Kojima game than he should be getting for being Harrison Ford. And that's just me. And I'm an Indiana Jones lover. I have been wanting to play this game. No beef. I think it's a great performance. Do I think it's an award-winning performance or award-nominated performance? No, it's an impression. It should have been Alex. Anyway, that's...
You can take it up with the Academy.
Well, I'm American, so they're not going to listen to me anyway. I'm not in the Academy. So.
Yep. At least it's better.
I'll give but they're better. They are better.
At least with BAFTA, there's multiple rounds and you have a series of juries and they do take it very seriously.
Yes.
So that doesn't mean you can't disagree with what they have selected, however. But anyway, it's the 17th, and there's lots of Claire Obscure, and
there's a Dead Take Award nomination in there, and I was very excited for her.
There is Dead Take. There is The Alters as new IP, etc. So there's lots of good stuff in there.
We'll have a watch party. I am opening that day, so I'll be here.
Excellent. I don't know exactly what time it's going to be at, Shan. But
It's going to be in the afternoon for me, so it doesn't matter anyway.
Yep.
Yeah, it's whether they broadcast it live at 7 p.m.
Is it
UK time.
7 p.m. UK?
Well, that's what I'm saying. If they broadcast it,
They did do a delay with the actual BAFTAs this year, which was a whole nother issue. But
yeah, we're not going to get into that.
no, we're not going to get into that. Yeah. But the main point being they pre-recorded it and then aired it later.
Whether they're going to broadcast it live or not, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Then I think we can get into what we've been doing lately and try and blitz that so we can give 2 episodes the treatment here. All right. Cool. Star Trek. As our lovely guest, why don't you start first? Because you got some kind of exciting stuff to talk about. So, floor is yours.
Don't know if it's exciting, but I think it's pretty cool anyway. So the main thing I've been doing is creating separate pages for each of the episodes on the fandom wiki. And I don't know if you want to share any of it. I put a link in the document.
I definitely can do that, sir.
Right, we cool. So basically that gives each episode a bit more space to breathe.
Ads. Excellent.
So
full of
this
ads
is the-
everywhere.
If you put anti before fandom, the ads will go away.
That's true.
Sneaky little trick.
I can also log in,
not
but-
endorsed.
Go ahead,
So,
Short.
yeah, so this is basically the campaign overview page, campaign 1, which we've renamed from season 1
Mm-hmm.
to match the thing on YouTube as well. And it's basically just, it's gotten a bit more compact now, and just links to the episode pages. I've also added pages for the side quests that are part of the same
Yeah, they're
world.
down here,
So
right?
that's
Yeah.
the Dream of the Dragonborn and all the con live shows. And I've put in links to the what are they called? The story so far videos on there as well.
Oh, yeah, they're at the top, right?
At the top, yeah. Sorry.
Very cool, man.
So and then maybe if we can take
Yeah,
a look
we've
at one
got
of the
Some nice
of the-
work from other community members, right?
yes.
We have special guests.
We have the special
Special-
special guest of Andy
Special
Cat,
pairing
yes.
guest. Yeah, so this is basically the what
not
each page
this one,
sort of
right?
looks like. So we have the thumbnail for the video there as well. There's the thumbnail for the
Mhm.
action search,
There we go.
and on
And
quite a
the
few,
summary,
definitely
right?
of quite a few of the earlier pages.
Mhm.
Mary, what was she called again?
Typhoid Mario.
Typhoid Mary,
Yeah, Typhoid Mary.
and Emma G.
Mm-hmm.
have been doing those summaries. Basically, just transcribing.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, Andy, taking your job a little bit.
That's
Transcribing the summaries Harry reads out at the start of the episode, of the next episode, I should say.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all putting me to shame because I was supposed to be helping, and I have done very little.
You're doing other things, Shan.
Excellent. Yeah, exactly.
I'll finish Vim's page in 20 years. It's fine.
Many people have said, "Oh, I'll do things on Vim's page." And have
I actually
failed to
did do
so.
stuff though,
So-
but I did. I
You
did,
have
to
done.
be fair, and I even wrote down everything I needed to work on the page. I just couldn't figure out how formatting works. To be fair, that's my biggest issue.
Oh, well, it's
We'll get there.
we'll get there. We'll get there.
We'll get
But
there.
yeah, I mean, it's great. Short track. I think
Yeah, it's
the
good
hardest was doing all the back content.
Yeah, that was a bit of a slog. Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be going forward. I think it'll be really nice to have everything.
Yeah, it's not too much work now. So
Mhm.
it's cool. So yeah, basically that's been a lot of what I've been doing in terms of
Excellent.
Natural 6,
Excellent.
other stuff.
You're very cool.
What else? Short track.
I already talked about Solasta 2.
Mhm.
I played a little bit, mostly of the past weekend actually. So, but we already talked about that. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I think that's basically it for me. I
Excellent.
didn't do any other games. Don't have really that much time. So
And
That's
you're
it.
getting ready for MCM.
absolutely, yeah.
Excellent. Good. Andy, besides the cat.
Besides cat, yeah. So been doing a bit more DMing at the local games cafe last week.
Oh, very cool.
Meant to be doing some this week, but apparently there's no sign-ups. There was 20 people interested in doing it last week, and then nothing for this week. So, but I did a session using Cartograph. I don't know if you've ever heard of that. Just basically, you just roll random dice and draw a map, and then decide to go and explore wherever you're drawing. So, if you end up in a ruins, you go down the ruins and find out what's in there. So I just did lots of random rolling on DM tables and just went with the flow, which
Yep.
was quite fun.
Did you find that kind of improvisation at the table DMing was fun or nerve wracking, or both?
It was fun actually, because I didn't really have to think. I wasn't thinking too deeply in terms of plot lines and stuff like that. It was, come up with an NPC name. He wants you to go down to this ruin and find an artifact, kind of thing. It wasn't, detailed backstories and everything else.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
Cool.
I'm planning to use that to flesh out how I'm going to do my other continents in my homebrew world.
Excellent.
So just kind of randomize it rather than think about it. Been playing Final Fantasy VIII. Had my nephew around for a bit, so I was showing him that, and he's getting into it.
Mm.
Letting him play it for a bit. Been rewatching Andor up to the second to last episode of season 1. And I've been watching a lot of the Artemis stuff since they launched. We had a long stream last night, didn't we, Shan? Which I'm sure you've got
We did.
a lot more to talk about. Yeah, but that's pretty much it for me.
Excellent. Short track. I think. Did I see you dropped in as well for the Artemis stream or no?
We did have a couple, but it was very small.
Small but sweet.
Hmm.
Excellent. Excellent. Shannon,
Yeah.
what's been
Well,
going on?
I'll start with the short stuff.
Mhm.
So I ran another 5K on Saturday. I
That's
did
not
run
short,
walk.
that's quite long.
Yeah, it's true. I just mean short to talk about.
Fair. Yeah.
Yeah, I wanted to run more of it, and I didn't because it actually was more. The route was a little more up and down. It's up and down the famous Kelly Drive, along the banks of the Schuylkill River, which is named after the Kellys, as in Grace Kelly, families from the Philadelphia area. So that was really fun. It was a beautiful day. Saw a lot of great signs. My personal favorite being run like Jalen Hurts is at the finish line, which, yeah. And I did not beat my time. I actually gained 30 seconds on the gritty 5K, and I was walking faster. But I think part of it was, again, the terrain was a little different. It was a little more humid. I had to stop and tie my shoe at one point, and they don't have water bottles like the gritty 5K did. It was cups, so I had to stop to drink it. So I did pick up a little time. Otherwise, I probably would have finished a minute or two less. But yeah, it was still super fun. I have my medal somewhere. It was the whole family did it. Here's my medal. It's a chocolate bar with a little
Nice.
bite taken out of it. So yeah, I did it with my family. I finished second in my family because my mom decided to lap me, which I thought was really rude. And also because my sister-in-law is pregnant now, so even if she did try to run it, she wasn't going to. She's been sick. So yeah, it was super fun though, and you get like a little bowl with a thing of hot chocolate, and you get dipping chocolate, and they give you a bunch of snacks to dip in it. So I pretty much just dipped 2 bananas in it. My sister gave me her banana. And then I got a coffee from a nice French man who runs a little coffee cart because I was dying because I needed caffeine. And my legs finally don't hurt. That's the best part. My legs hurt really bad because then I had to do a 7-hour shift the next day. But my favorite bit was the song Everything Burns from Final Fantasy XIV, which Holly had a hand in making happen. I like to run the last bit, always run the last bit. And as I was like, all right, let's do this. We're going to start when we hit that light pole. Everything Burns started. And it was literally the last push. And I was like, all right, Tom Morello and Holly on my side. Let's go. The power of God in anime or whatever. So I did run it and it was very funny. But yeah, so did that. It was like 55 minutes and 38 seconds for 3 miles. Pretty good. I watched all of Castlevania. Not Nocturne yet. I started Nocturne, but I paused Nocturne because my friend now wants to watch Castlevania again because I won't shut up about it. I really like it. It's really good. I really love the characters. I've always been a fan of Richard Armitage, so I was really excited to see him playing this doofus. I won't go too into spoilers if you haven't seen it, but it's very good. So good that I went and got the art books at the only bookstore in the area that happened to have them. And I really want to cosplay Sypha because she's the best. I've been quoting it for days. I made a thread on the Discord server because I can't stop thinking about it. It's just really funny. It's really great. Like, the dynamic between the characters is really good. The direction is really good. You'd think they were in the same room together. I have seen clips, though. It sounds like they'll play the audio somebody did for them. If they're not together, then they at least play their audio for them. Because I watched the actress who plays Sypha. She has this, like, rant in season 4 where she goes on this curse-laden rant and then blames Trevor for it because he's the curse-laden character. It's phenomenal scene. But they played Richard Armitage's voice, like his deliveries, for her, and so she would respond to him as if he was there. And I don't know if he actually was there. Someone was laughing that sounded like him, but I don't know if that's true. But it's great. The show was great. I had so much fun watching it. I'm obsessed with it. I want to play the games now. I know they have a learning curve. I know. Oh, don't worry. I've gotten the talk. But I think that's why I want to do it. Because, like, I haven't played a lot of older games like that ever. Because I just missed a lot of them. And we also didn't have the devices to play them on anyway. I only had an N64 and Game Boys. That's all I had until I was in middle school. So I'm just debating whether I want to play them on the PC so I can stream them and everyone can watch my suffering, or get it on the Switch, which is a little more like natural to play them on. The funniest part is that the 2 best games are not in any of the collections and they're only available on PlayStation. So, yay. Symphony of Night is only on the PlayStation. I forget the other one. But yeah, I'm going to give them a shot. I'm just waiting maybe till my credit card bill rolls over. And then I can decide what platform I want them on. Because I was talking to Kenneth. I do want to try streaming at some point. And I do think playing a hard game that I'm probably going to be really bad at might be a fun way to start. But yeah, I want to give them a go. I've been quoting the one game, even though I've never played it, because I saw the quote somewhere. And I think it's so funny. Like, what a terrible night to have a curse. I think that's so funny. I've been, like, adapting it for any time something happens. What a terrible night to have a stubbed toe. Like, things like that. So, yeah, Castlevania. It's great. Join the thread. It's in film and television. It's really fun. You can look at all the fan cams I sent to the group chat and hear me quote Trevor Belmont 50 times a day because he's endlessly quotable. And I can't quote any of it on this podcast. It is that bad. Artemis 2, obviously. I hosted a little stream nobody came to. 3 people came to. Because I'm so excited. I love space stuff. I watched the launch at work. And I really wanted to watch the lunar flyby because it's history. It's the furthest man has gone into space ever. It is the first time we were going to see the dark side of, like, the whole dark side of the moon, not just a section of it. And it was going to be the first time man has seen a solar eclipse from the dark side of the moon.
The other side, yeah.
Yeah, so I wanted to watch it. I was really excited about it. The stuff that they showed, the things that they were describing, the fact that they saw meteor strikes during the eclipse on the moon, and just the reaction of, like, the team at home, like, hearing that. I cried a couple of times, specifically when they asked to name 2 of the newly found craters after Integrity, what they call the ship, because it's not officially called Integrity. That's just what the team wanted to call it. And then Reed Wiseman's wife, who passed away while they were, like, in training for, like, back in 2020. She passed away from cancer. And they asked if they could name one of the craters after her. And then they all started crying, and everybody on both sides of the radio had to take a minute. And I had to take a minute because that was a lot. But it was just really beautiful. Really amazing to see the videos from their GoPro outside. And this morning they released the pictures. And just, I immediately made one my lock screen. I don't know if you could see it, but, like, that's amazing. Man is amazing. And I just get so emotional thinking about it. Like, we're all in that picture, and like, what an achievement, you know, and to know that we can still do those things, and that, you know, now they're on their way home. And it's just really cool. And like looking at the pictures from the 70s versus now, and like, you know, it's great. I love it. I was really excited about it and really emotional about it. So, cried looking at today's pictures that they shared of like the moon and Earth set and the eclipse and everything. My favorite bit though was after everybody left, I was still watching it, and there was like a bright spot while they were getting ready for the eclipse, and they weren't quite sure what it was, and they said, well, we think it's light shining off of Orion, but we'll let you guys know. We'll talk to the science team. And it was during the radio silence, so like they couldn't contact the ship because they were on the other side of the moon. And they finally came back and were like, we talked to the science team, and it's actually Venus.
Yeah.
And to see Venus there, like in the shot, in the distance, and just it was just amazing, you know. And just to hear them talk too, and when they came back onto the radio, and they said, you know, we left Earth, but we'll always choose it. And just everybody, every time they spoke to them, just talking about humanity and you know, wanting to work together and loving your neighbor and everything else. It was just really nice. It was really nice. So yeah, I love Artemis too. I also I remembered I had someone give me stuff, someone who worked as a NASA like contractor, and I actually found my Artemis keychain from Artemis 1. So yeah, just very, very exciting. I'm just very happy. And now we have to worry about them getting home. Because my favorite tweet was like, oh, for those of you who are new to space, now we got to worry about re-entry. So yeah, I'm worried about that, but I'm very excited for them. So yeah, and then I haven't really been playing any games because it's Mog Tome time in 14, which is what I was alluding to, which means you earn rewards, or you earn stuff to get rewards. So basically, I'm just going to be on that grind set so I can get a bunch of rewards that are usually harder to get for free, essentially. So I'm not playing any games, probably till the end of the month when Mog Tome season's over. And then the biggest thing was I went to PAX. Yeah, I actually forgot something, and I just remembered. The Flyers are about to enter the playoffs, guys. It's crazy. Insane world I'm living in right now. Yeah, so I went to PAX. Super fun. Natural Six was not there, but that's fine. We made it a party anyway. I went 2 days only, mostly shopped and hung out. I got to play Pokopia and backyard baseball, which were fine. Those were my two biggest gets. And we demoed a card game that is meant to teach kids about campaign finance and the Electoral College. It takes 15 minutes. It was super fun. We had a great time. It was like me, Ray, and Mike played it. We had a really great time. I got some really nice goodies. Mike made, let me switch so I can make sure I see you guys. Mike made this little 3D, Mount Atria's green. Anyway, it's supposed to be like the little camp at the bottom of Mount Atria. Mm-hmm. Yeah, sorry, Mike, I did my best. And then GM gave me this dice bag that says every tree a tombstone with nails on it. My bag of nails.
So cool.
Yeah, and I did get new dice, obviously. Dispel dice, obviously. You have to get at least one every time. And I got these beautiful little dice boys from Yenir, which is dice-based jewelry. I just saw her wearing them at a panel, and I thought she looked so beautiful and glamorous that I wanted a pair of my own. So I did get them. And yeah, so I made these giant... So my secret plan was to get big posters, because I didn't know how many people were going to be showing up, and make birthday cards for Natural Six, because they're looking for decor. So I was like, well, I'll give you decor. So we made two, Or I made 2 while watching Castlevania. I stayed up till 2 a.m. locked in on Castlevania making
Show Shan's
posters.
other one here.
Yeah, so I'll talk about this one first. I'm sorry, I don't have a closer picture, so I'll have to describe it. But this one says, "With love, the PAX chapter," which is what we called ourselves last year because there was a bigger group of us because Natural Six was there. But the PAX chapter was basically members of the Discord that met up for the different Natural Six stuff last year. And there's stickers with speech bubbles on them that intend to have quotes from everyone. So I think I put Bertine is one, last ... time ... he's fast, but he's clearly an idiot is on there. And then what was is metaphor metaphor is also on there. So I'm still figuring out Kel and Dolly. Kel, I'm leaning like I hold up a spoon because that killed all of us, I think. Dolly's just a little bit harder because she has so many good ones. I thought about putting like one of the lines from her story on there, but we'll see. I haven't finished it. And then I'm going to put stickers and pictures because the stickers I made for PAX were the last light. And then I did That's So Radiant because I remade it in Photoshop and then I made it. It's a really big sticker though. I was shocked at how big it was. I don't know dimensions. But that's all of the repeat members of the PAX chapter in that picture with that sign. The other one was a more general, like if anybody wanted to sign and was there, but it said like happy 2nd anniversary and 50 episodes, Nat 6. And we got Anjali to sign it. Yeah. So it's much simpler. I also couldn't fit the words properly. So there's a little tiny oops next to it, next to 2nd anniversary, because I'm not really good at spacing things. But we got Anjali to sign it. We went to her signing. But that, like, I was just going to send them both. I wanted to make sure I had room for everybody, which is why I had 2. And then we didn't have anybody. And also I realized I couldn't ask people to come sign it without Holly knowing. So, yeah. So I waited till the last day of PAX to be like, this is what I was doing. So I have to finish decorating them.
Restart my screen share here, Shan.
You're good.
So we can show the other.
Yeah, I was trying to describe it as best I could. I also made last light bracelets. I'm wearing the first prototype, which is the last light, but I changed it to make room for more beads. So that's what I gave out. Yeah.
All right, so we should have on the other one, right? This one, right?
Yes. And then my favorite bit is the speech bubble I put down there where I crossed out all their nicknames and then put the last light. But Mike also drew Nat 6 Towers. And we got Cypher to sign it as well because we went to one of Cypher's panels. Cypher is one of the mods in the server. And then, like I said, Anjali signed it. I'll probably write a second thing on there. But look, my spacing is so bad. You can kind of see by Mike's hand where I wrote "Oops, LOL" in the margin of the poster.
Oh, with how
by the
close
Y
anniversary is to the
You don't
edge?
know. I actually moved the letters. Like some of them have cracks in them because I had to peel them off and move them. I tried. I didn't have a ruler or anything. I didn't prepare it because I didn't have time to prepare it. But yeah, I'll probably decorate things with like stickers, pictures of the characters and all that. But yeah, that was
Very cool.
It was going to be my surprise to the cast. Now I have to figure out how I'm going to mail them because they're probably going to be expensive because we're also paying an 8% surcharge to the post office right now if you mail any packages. Yeah, so we'll see. I also got them a birthday card, but I'm going to leave the details of that one out because I think that one's very funny. I'm going to write something very silly in it.
Can you put them in a single tube, both of them?
I don't know. I do have some international stamps left over from when I would mail things to my friend in Canada. So, like, worst to worst, I do have some stamps for the card, so I can send it separately. And then that way the card at least makes it if the poster tube takes a little longer. But they're big posters. If anything, I could maybe put the bracelets that I want to make them in there. Maybe stickers. But yeah, the card I should be able to just send easy peasy. I should have the right stamps. I think the international stamps are forever stamps, so I shouldn't have to get new ones. They should be fine. But yeah, we'll see.
Cool stuff.
Yeah, that's what I've been up to. Oh, and I got my copy of Logos, the Final Fantasy 16 lore book. I haven't opened it yet, though. Everyone is doing enough talking about it for me. I can wait to open it. I'm seeing all kinds of debates in my servers about this book and what it
about the
reveals.
lore book? Yeah.
Yeah. But I'm excited. I'm excited to read what Ben, Christopher, and Stuart wrote for their characters.
Definitely.
Yep. It's a big book as well. I showed them yesterday, and they were like, "Whoa, that's a big book." It's a big book, guys.
It is.
It's a very big book. And I got bookmarks with it because I ordered it from Square Enix. So, yeah. Anyway.
Sweet.
That's what I've been up to.
Excellent, Sharon.
Yep.
All right. Then I think it's me. We did not have a episode 2 weeks ago because I was away.
Yeah, it was Doc's
doing
fault.
my practicals for swimming coaching, which went well, I think. Should start to hear back here in about a week about how everything went. Everything's crossed.
Yeah.
How do you think it went?
Toes, fingers, and arms.
It was fun. It's a very different level of swimmer than I normally coach short track.
I see.
So there were some Olympians there,
Wow.
and some who are training. So I got a bunch of selfies and stuff, which was kind of cool.
Nerd out.
Definitely nerded out. Shan, yeah. So lots of training for we're lucky because the Aquatics GB stuff is coming up here in 5 days. I think it's on the 12th. I think it's either on the 10th or the 12th. I can't remember. I'll have to look. That's when sort of the big meet for this year is here in the UK. So there was a lot of tapering down to prep for that, which was kind of cool to see all those swimmers there. I think it went okay, but the practicals are only part as well of the accreditation. So fingers crossed. At least all this phase is done, and then the next phase is just submitting a bunch of basically signed records of work, effectively, which is not too bad. So otherwise, you guys will probably can tell that things are slightly different for me at the moment. I am recording from warmer climes.
Not bad.
Here, heading back to the UK on Saturday morning early, and then I will see you guys for the watch party for the next episode on Tuesday, which will be fun. Otherwise, yeah, not much going on. I think over the last sort of 3 weeks or so, I have been at the pool for like 30 or 40 hours in total. So it's been a lot. Fun, but a lot. And then lots of family stuff. Easter, we had our first series of blessings on the new place, which Shan knows about, which was kind of cool. The Easter stuff that they do here in the north of Portugal. And I think that's it for me. I'm sure I forgot something.
I always forget something, so.
I was going to ask Short Trek if you had played Castlevania.
I have not. No.
No Castlevania.
Let's all
Might
get
have-
wrecked.
Might have done ages ago. One of the first ones.
The Super Nintendo, maybe version.
No, never
No?
had this Super Nintendo.
No. Yeah, it's let's just say that it's a lot.
Thankfully, they're not that expensive, and you get a bunch of them because
that-
they only sell them in bundles.
That's true.
Except for those two. So
That's true.
if I get wrecked, I won't be too mad about it.
No.
What a terrible night to get wrecked.
I am not prepared for all the celebration event stuff. I know that some of it has wound down, Shan. Maybe I'll prep everything for next time.
Maybe I'll have my Photoshop done for next time.
Ooh, yes.
Next time.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Then I think we can switch the spoilers on, assuming that I still can.
Spoilers.
And yep.
If not, good luck, everybody.
It's working. It's working.
Okay.
Okay. Episode 50, I guess. That was what our predictions were for, right?
Yep.
So let's bust them out quickly. We had. I'm still keeping the faith that at some point there will be one word in the title, but we have not got to that point yet.
Nope.
So Andy, you won. There were three words in the title. Dress to Impress, of course. And maybe Kenneth gets the second one because
Yeah.
the sins of the sinless.
We'll give him an orange.
We'll give him an
Greasy
orange.
win.
Greasy win for that one.
Greasy win.
There was no deck usage in either episode.
Nope.
Shan.
There was offered deck usage.
There was.
They didn't end up having a fashion show competition.
They didn't really have a fashion show competition. No.
But I
Definitely got
did get the
Raging
other
Law.
two.
Yeah.
Definitely got
Yeah,
Raging
I got
Lore.
the other two.
And the outing of
I
Barabask
did the wrong
go
color
wrong,
once.
I guess, sort of. Yeah.
Yeah, it absolutely did. Like he absolutely knew what they were doing and then killed
Mm-hmm.
Atticus. So I would call that some not to toot my own horn. I would call that going wrong.
It was not 50 though. Don't want to spoil anything, but
Yep.
I don't think I'll get anything from my.
Use the amulet as a key accessory.
remember.
I don't think so, Andy.
No.
I mean, I think he
It
just
wasn't-
wore
it
it.
wasn't-
You can imagine he did.
Yeah.
Well, no, because it turned out that they kept it in the bag of holding.
Oh, that's right,
around
yeah.
The,
That's true. That's
Yeah.
true.
Sorry,
I couldn't remember
Andy.
which amulet you were saying, whether you
I
were
tried
saying
to
it was
help.
Kelness's amulet. But there will be combat. There was no combat, and in fact, there has been no combat for like 5 episodes or something at
That
this
was
long
a record
time.
amount of time.
Yes.
Sorry,
Much
Kenneth.
to Holly's disappointment, I think.
Yeah, didn't she say like 8 episodes or something?
Something
Since-
like that.
yeah.
it was a lot. Yeah.
Yeah.
Since she's actually hit something. Yes.
Yeah.
Because
She
technically
has-
she was in combat, but she couldn't actually swing a sword.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Cool. All right. Good. Shall we get into 50 then? I am going to admit, guys, I don't have a great memory of what was actually in 50 and what was in 51
I have notes.
and what was
I
in
have-
49.
I have notes.
I have lots of notes.
I kind of expected you would, Short Trek. You're that sort of guy that I think remembers everything, or has at least written everything down and can refer to
Wow.
it later.
Yeah.
Yes. So, well, not really, but
Mhm.
this time I did.
So from 50, we started with we need to go and make the clothing, right?
It started with
No,
a
it
discussion
started with-
between Radian and
Yeah.
Kelnis. They were
Oh,
talking with the
the-
amulet
Yeah, it's
and
with
about
the
deck.
amulet
totems.
and the deck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Because we finished 49 with them doing their thing, right? And I think we talked about in the last episode about how it's interesting that the music that was playing while they were doing all of that was
Shadowfell.
Shadowfell, right? Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how that continues to play out, obviously. Anything in particular we need to discuss about all that? Jen?
Cal let Radian try the amulet, and Radian
Yes.
tried to remember what the man we presume his father looks like. He did consider. I really hoped he would do the woman.
Yeah.
He did think about it, but he ended up going with the father, which
And
is
he
fine.
was he was quite successful, but not quite.
Not
right?
quite. Yeah, mostly probably because he doesn't really know them. So you can only really do so much. But yeah. And then they named his dad Brad. But yeah, just I guess it's an interesting way to like let Radian play with the amulet, because like obviously he's going to want to turn into somebody from these visions he's been having. And the fact that he finally tells Kel about them, that he like sees these people from his past, but he doesn't know who they are. Like I thought that was a big deal, because he not only shows Kel someone from these visions, but he tells him about them, which makes it even more interesting about like how untrustworthy Elwyn seems to think he is. Meanwhile, he's having a heart-to-heart with Kel in the middle of the night. So it was really a really interesting scene that then, of course, goes off the rails when Radiant says he wants to dress slutty. As always, you can always count on Radiant to change the mood of a conversation.
Yes,
But yeah,
most definitely.
Yeah, and then obviously also talking about, like, he asked Kel about what it was like for Kel to find out that he wasn't what he thought he was. Because as we know, that's like a fear of Radiant's, that he's not going to like who he is, like who he's meant to be.
Yeah.
And so, he talks to Kel about what it was like to realize that he wasn't what he thought he was, and Kel telling him that it was like scary, and it meant he knew nothing about his place in the world.
It was
but
clearly difficult for him, right?
Yeah. But it was nice because Kel promised to be there for him when the time came, to learn what he was. And I think that's really nice because Kel also promised to be there for him when he did drugs, and then he decided not to do drugs.
Decided not to.
So it gives Kel another opportunity to try and be there for him. So it was a really interesting conversation. A lot of good identity stuff going on in there.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Short Track, you sound like you were ready to jump in there.
Yeah, I think I wrote down a couple of interesting things. That's one is that the totems apparently need all three to do something, which I thought was interesting. And I think we already knew, but it was confirmed, and was confirmed explicitly in the action search, that Cal's amulet is broken or malfunctioning. So it's not working as it should.
Yep.
And I also thought it was interesting that there was a juxtaposition between Cal not missing his birth parents and Radiant missing his birth parents, even though he had forgotten about them.
Yep. Definitely. Definitely.
Yeah, I think that's. Are you in need of love, Radiant? That was an excellent thing from Cal.
Very good energy from the both of them. I'm going to bed.
Definitely. Anything else from the beginning there, Andy?
We had Elowen's dream.
Mm-hmm.
We had a couple of dreams.
Yeah, well,
We've had a few. Yeah.
I'm not going to talk about the other thing. That,
No, we don't need to. I
Bend.
don't think.
It's-
We'll
But-
we'll leave that as an exercise to the listener.
But it
Yeah.
was interesting to hear Elowen say the next morning, sometimes it helps to talk about dreams. Kind of foreshadowing for what she didn't do later on.
Mm-hmm.
Goodness me. Girly pop, please practice what
Yeah.
you preach.
Exactly.
Yeah. I'm
So
holding
it's
your
kind of
hand when I say this.
into them going into the cloth fields and starting the tailoring.
Mm-hmm. I feel like Harry needs to up the difficulty of some of these side tasks.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, maybe.
I wrote it down as well, yeah.
Sometimes it's good just to let your players win
yes,
at something
Yeah.
that's
Narratively satisfying.
naturally satisfying and
mm-hmm.
inconsequential, really, in the grand scheme of things.
Yep.
But
I do think it would have been kind of funny for one of them to spectacularly fail making this garment, though.
yeah, for it to fall apart mid.
Fall apart or
Yeah.
wardrobe malfunction. Yeah. Yep. Trying to think. Was there anything really significant? Was 50 the one where we had the Lennox's staff and I get into it a little bit?
There was multiple
Yes.
times
Yes.
that Poro and
Poro, yes.
came up.
How many Poros were there, actually? I think there was a female cook named Poro, and then the elderly
I think
gnome
he,
named Poro.
I think he misspoke at that point.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think so as
He
well.
was- Shoshana or something is the cook, isn't it?
Yep. We got good old Poro there.
But he doesn't do anything.
Yeah, he doesn't
Poor
do anything.
Poro.
And then the things he does do are done poorly, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I've written down poor Poro a number of times.
Poor guy. Poor guy. What did we think about the garment creation, guys? I mean, obviously the amount of work that went into it from the cast seems
Yeah.
pretty impressive. I think now Short Trek, all of the artwork, both from the cast and the lovely artist, are all on the fandom. As
Oh, they are? Okay, cool.
Let me just, excuse me, double check that though.
And the originals are framed, and they are now in the new studio. In the-
Yes.
thing.
Main characters. Yes, I think Mr. Stryker has put them all up.
Cool.
So if we have a look here briefly at lovely Elwyn Grenier, we do have Party Attack on the fandom, which is kind of cool. And I think Holly's sketch is here. Yeah.
Yeah, all those designs were very player coded, I found.
Mm-hmm.
Holly's immaculate design,
Mhm.
Eva's last moment thing,
Yes.
Dirk's arts and crafts.
Sorry,
100%.
I went to Radiance first, and I scrolled down and pulled up Ben's sketch, and literally everything is labeled as slutty.
Is it? Is it?
Slutty circlet, slutty
Okay.
arms,
All right,
slutty
let's
waist,
look at
slutty Cuban heel
Ben's here.
boots. Like literally,
Oh,
please
here we
show
go,
that.
Here we go.
Everything is labeled except the color. The color is labeled regular gold.
Slutty circlet. I don't know
The
exactly.
slutty circlet. How do you make? I don't get it.
I don't know how you make a slutty circlet either, Shan.
I need to
but
look at somebody else's art before I go
We
crazy.
got slutty waist as well.
Yeah, the slutty waist.
Slutty Cuban heel boots. Yeah, excellent.
Oh, I like the detailing on Alex's. That's really cute. The little details, the little stars.
Let's have a look at Alex's,
That's
shall we?
cute. He put a lot of detail into that.
Yeah, he did work hard. Yeah.
Yeah, the little gold stars, he even did them in a different color.
Mm-hmm.
That's so cute.
Yeah, it's quite cool. So you guys can check that out yourselves on the fandom. It's now all up there. And Short Track, I was gonna try and work with you to try and get a sort of, I guess, collage or group on that episode 50 page. We can put all of them together. I
Yeah,
think
cool.
in a nice view.
I'm obsessed with the beard on Kelness. I'm really glad they asked him about that.
Yes.
Because I also had a lot of questions.
As to how there's a beard?
Yeah, how
Yes.
did, you know,
Yes.
how did that happen?
Party attire, indeed. Cool. Anything else, guys, in that early part of the episode?
Well,
Yes, Star Trek.
there was, of course, Barabas's speech.
And that was at the end of them completing the
It
garments,
was
right?
right after them, yeah.
Mhm.
Exactly.
The Barra broadcast.
The Barra broadcast, the Barra bastard.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
With the God mic.
With the God mic, indeed.
Which was
Yes.
interesting.
Andy, I can't remember if you did the transcription or did Jazzy do what? I think.
Jazzy did it this time.
Yeah. So yeah, if you want to read the whole thing, and Short Track, we did get it on the fandom too, didn't we? Did we?
I'm not sure. I didn't, but
Let's have a quick boo, shall we?
Ugh, my notes are not good. I forgot I was sick that episode.
I keep doing this, and it's annoying. It keeps messing up my screen share here. Let's go over here. There we go. That should be back. Let's have a quick boo at the... I think we've got that screen share back. Yes, we do. Okay. Let's have a quick look at the... maybe we didn't. Because it would have been episode 50, right?
yes. I'm pretty sure it's not in episode 50 yet.
The transcription, yeah. But it is in the Discord, right? So we could put it up.
It should be somewhere, yeah.
Okay. I'll add that to our list of things to do. Cool. Yes. It was clear that our good friend Barabask did not know what the Last Light had done before he did his little broadcast. Yeah.
He's almost like he's just a petty little man and not an actual god.
Mm-hmm. I think he might be right on that one, Danny. I think he might be onto something there.
So is it all just a ruse?
Maybe
mean,
not fully a ruse, but certainly partially. That's for sure.
So I think the God mic is one indication that he's an actual god. the light that I saw in the mirror, the
Yeah.
light from within.
Or at least,
But
if
that
not
could
a
all be
god, a
illusion.
pretty powerful being at this point in time. Yes,
Yeah,
definitely.
because I was definitely wondering how becoming an actual god would work.
Mm-hmm.
Can gods make other gods? Could Moloch have made him a god? Or
Yeah.
I'm just wondering. I don't have any.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, we would be completely speculating on that front.
Yeah.
It's a good point, though. I don't know, is the short answer. Yeah,
Interesting thing to think about.
definitely. Anything else before we go to the party? Gooey Yummy was after they did the
Yummy.
costumes,
Yes.
right? On the way back.
Oh no, it was on the way
No,
there.
Oh, it was on the way there.
Yeah, gooey
Oh, yeah, it was
yummy.
when we were there.
The stand that made Kel love tacos.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Good for him.
Radian draws the web symbol.
Oh yes,
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
he really wants to manipulate the web. He has to take advantage of a possible power vacuum that he doesn't even know if it exists.
Yep.
Good for him. I mean, it's a smart move. I won't say it's not smart, but you don't know. So maybe don't do it till you have more information, Radiant.
Yeah, it's
Or
Or at least tell someone.
Yeah, specifically talk about it before doing it rather
Yeah,
than just doing it.
yeah,
it's smart but risky, right, Shan? Yeah.
yeah. Smart but risky is definitely like his favorite thing to be. He does it quite a lot. Like he'll make a really good point, but it's like
Mm-hmm.
just wait like 5 minutes so we have a little more information, and then you can do what you want.
That's the thing. He as soon as he thinks of a good idea, he has to act on it immediately.
Yeah,
Yep.
Consequence.
yeah.
I do wonder, as I have wondered many times on this lovely show that we're up almost 30 episodes in on, as to how much of that is Radiant and how much of that is just Ben, the player, being a little bit anxious to push things forward. But
Listen, I'll give him this. In his defense, he's been very patient on his own stuff. I find it very funny that he's less patient about other stuff. Like, he'll be like, yeah, I'm all right waiting to do my story, whatever. But anyway, this aspect of the story should be moving.
yes,
I do find that very funny.
definitely.
A man contains multitudes. An onion has layers.
That is definitely true. That is
Yeah.
definitely true. Cool. Yeah, Guyami was impressive. There's some cool fan art, which we have ideas about, which we may or may not act on ahead of MCM. Cool. I'm trying to think anything else in 50 we need to really go over. Yes, Shan.
I wrote some stuff down.
You look poised.
Yeah. Well, first I want to talk about a quote that I really liked, which is, "The party is only as good as the baddest, sluttiest person there." Too true. There were a couple things around, like in the prep for the party,
Mm-hmm.
that I thought were kind of important. So the one was the whole bit about Lennox's mom.
Yep.
And like when they asked about accessories and stuff, and he brought them to her room
Yep.
to let them pick stuff out to wear from her like jewelry collection, because she was a celebrant, and so she loved parties, and that's why he likes hosting parties, and why he's been so upset that he can't host parties, is because his mom always loved a party.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought that was a really nice little insight into Lennox, but also like I think we all have those things where, you know, sometimes we keep something we miss about someone we love like kind of on the DL, but then when the moment comes when it feels like this is the right moment to do something like this, that you take that thing and you share it with other people. And I think that was a really nice thing. I thought that was really nice because, like, I know I've certainly been there. Like on days where it's like, yeah, this sucks. I wish this person could have been here to enjoy it, but now I get to share that love that they would have liked to share with other people. And so that was very nice. And I also wrote down that they went to the library and Elowen asked for certain books to be sent to her room, specifically about families in Reliquiae. Because she has been suspicious of Radian in the last couple episodes and the episode yet to come. And so we all are pretty certain we know what family she's looking at. But
Well, yeah, it actually comes up in the next episode. So we
yeah,
can
exactly.
talk
I
about-
wasn't talking about the next episode yet. I literally said that in episodes to
Spoilers.
come.
But
But yeah, like at the time, we were all like, yeah,
Oh,
she
yeah.
wants to look up the thorn bearers for sure. Because I don't think she even really said it in Action Surge either. So we were all like,
No.
yeah,
No, she didn't.
she wants to look up the thorn. Like we all knew.
I think
because he was being
most of us would
cagey.
really like her to look up the Thorn Bears and maybe tell us what these books have in them. But
Yeah.
yes, definitely. I also liked the jewelry section. It was quite nice. I'm trying to remember if they were all there or if it was just Dolly and Elowen.
It was,
I was there because I
I-
wanted
I
wanted
know.
a tiara.
And Elowen. Yeah.
Yeah.
but the other one picked something out for Radian and Dolly as well.
Yep. Kelnus, no jewelry for Kelnus, apparently.
Nope.
Poor guy.
He has a big head. And a beard, apparently. Who knew? Not me. Not this kid.
Dragonborn whiskers, right?
That whole discussion was very funny.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, and you gave him hair. And he's like, no, that's not hair. Like, because the beard was so suspicious that it made the, like, lizard whiskeys, whatever they're called, made them suspicious too. So it's just really funny. It's just like everyone was like giving him a hard time.
Are you sure about
Poor
this?
Doug.
Yep. Poor Doug.
Poor Doug. It's hair. He's like, no, it's not hair. But I did like
He's
how
the
much
only
work he put
one
into it.
who did a 3D
Yeah, he put pipe cleaners on there.
costume
like,
design.
It's so good. I love his. I love all of them. But
give him a break. Yeah.
yeah, he went like multimedia. He went what do you call it when you use several different did he sign it too? Yeah, he signed it as well, which I think is really funny.
That's
I
a
just
very Doug
noticed
thing
it.
to do. Yes.
But yeah, like I forget what you call it when you make something with several different, like, there's a popsicle stick there, it looks like, when you use several different, like, materials to make something. Very impressive.
Cool.
Good job, Doug.
Anything else before I's fabulous sommelier?
Come to my wine tasting.
Come to
I don't
my
know
wine
anything.
tasting.
I know literally nothing. I don't even know my ABCs or my 1, 2, 3s.
But boy, I can tell you.
But boy, I know my wine.
I know my wine. Even though I probably never had any before.
Oh, he definitely never had any wine.
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
Anything else beforehand, guys?
No. Sorry, I had to switch notebooks.
I think the only thing I written down was win war, get wine,
Mm-hmm.
which was the
Yep.
thing Alex said that about.
Lennox's entry was, of course, impressive, as we would expect. I think there's some lovely art from Martina in fan art from that eventuality, as well as some other folks. Yes, we had some good wine. Do you drink wine, Star Trek?
I do not know.
No. Andy, you're a wine lover?
Only occasionally at family meals and things like that.
Shan, you're a wine connoisseur?
I wouldn't say I'm a connoisseur. I don't really like red wines, and I feel like you need to be a red wine drinker to be a connoisseur. But I've dabbled. I do like a nice white. I don't drink a lot. But like, wine's nice. Yeah, or a rosé. I do like a rosé, or a they call it pink Moscato. Moscato tends to be the one I go for because it's easier and cheaper. But I typically lean white regardless, all white.
Excellent.
I like it sweet.
Maybe we'll have to do wine tasting at MCM, Star Trek.
Maybe.
And get Alex to join us. Wine
Wait till
tasting.
next year, I'll get you. I'm just kidding. We'll see if I could save up that much money by then.
Well, state of the world at the moment, Shan, you might need to take out a second mortgage.
State of whatever.
Yeah. Cool. Anything else on 50, guys? I'm trying to remember how we finished. Did we finish on the wine tasting?
Yeah, pretty
More or
it was
less,
about
right?
there.
it's mo-
More or less.
mostly the four parts of the party mechanics.
Mm-hmm.
Starting a dance, which Dolowan and Keldian did.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
The comfort anyone who's concerned with Barabar's experience, which
Mhm.
I don't think came up in this app.
Yep.
Maybe it was Dolly talking to the elders and Magnus in the next app,
Yep.
but it didn't really count. And then, of course, was the food, which they did with Guyemi,
Mm-hmm.
and the wine tasting with some of the AI.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, that was
Pretty much it.
neat.
All right. Then, with your permission, I will switch our topic to episode 51.
Here. I took much better notes because I was not sick.
I believe Short Trek was the only one who had any predictions written
Honestly,
down.
I forgot. I was half dead
for
on
this.
Tuesday.
I can tell you, I for sure did not ask you guys to write anything, Shan.
No.
But from a timeline perspective, I think as we were discussing earlier, we kind of had it pretty bang on with sort of the progression. Early part of the episode, guys, what
My
do we
first note was,
think was...
I don't like that laugh. That was my very first note in my new notebook. Was I don't like that laugh.
I don't like that laugh. Yeah.
Harry McIntyre, TM.
Mm-hmm. Start of the episode. Yeah.
God, they didn't like it either.
No. Boy, they made a lot of promises to Atticus that they would.
Yeah, keeping
Yep. Do their best to keep him safe.
Before we go there, we can't forget about the 12 ingredient cheese platter.
Oh, yes. Which Harry did mention, I think, in the previous action surge that he was like, oh, man, I put all this work into research into all these cheeses. How many were there? Do you remember, Short Trek?
He mentioned 12 things, but
Yeah.
I don't remember all of them.
I feel like we've got to have those things on the fandom. That's got to be preserved. Notes for later. Things to do. Andy, you look poised.
No, I was just going to say I zoned out because he mentioned smelly cheese and I don't like smelly cheese.
You're not a smelly cheese fan?
Nope.
Do you have a favorite cheese, Short Trek? We've discussed favorite cheeses before.
I
Previously.
We
think
definitely
it's
have.
Probably brie for me.
Yeah?
Nice brie, yeah.
It's not too smelly. It can be, though.
It can be.
It can be, though.
Still,
Yeah.
It's not too smelly.
Yeah.
Camembert is probably smelly.
Interesting. You chose not to select a Dutch cheese.
Maybe because I've had too much of those.
It's lost its magic. For
Yeah,
you.
maybe.
Yeah.
But I do like the more creamy
Mm-hmm.
French cheeses.
Ones that you can spread on things. Yeah.
Yep.
Cool. So yes, we did have a cheese platter, which none of us can remember all of them except Andy and his smelly cheese. Yeah.
I just didn't write it down.
Did you write it down, Shan? All of them?
No.
Oh, you didn't write
I
it.
said I didn't.
You didn't write any of them.
Yeah, like to be fair, in my defense, on Monday I had an 8-hour drive home in which I had to get up at like 4:30
the
in the
return
morning.
from PAX. Yeah. Mhm.
And I cracked my bumper and I was tired and then I had to like go to bed early so I could open the next day. And I worked until 1 o'clock. And then I got home and got ready for the episode.
Mhm.
So I was a little I think I actually worked till 2. I was a little out of sorts on Tuesday, but I still took better notes than I did when I was
You're allowed.
sick.
You're allowed.
Yeah. But I think I must have missed when he listed all the cheeses, or I probably would have, because I wrote
Them all
cheese
down, right?
platter, exclamation point.
Mhm.
So clearly I recognized there was a cheese platter. I just clearly didn't write any of them
Yes,
down.
I believe Poro delivered the cheese platter. Did he not?
Yeah, I think so.
Mm-hmm. Or at least brought it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Anything else from the beginning, guys? I'm trying to remember.
Does the conversation with Magnus count as the beginning, or is that?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I think
more-
so, Shan. I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
There's a lot of goodies there.
There was nothing there, Shan. There was nothing there.
Nothing. Yeah, not a huge chunk of text in my notes or anything. But
No.
it's mostly because I wanted to talk about what I wrote on the next page. But we should probably talk about like relevant plot talk before I talk about I listening to his own reflection.
Yes.
So yeah. Well, first of all, he decided to tell Magnus he was dressing slutty for him, which pertinent information. Thanks, Radian.
Uh-huh.
But I really liked the conversation about like what the revelations are from what Radian read to them from the letters.
Mm-hmm.
And I really loved Magnus saying she's even more wild than we believed, but like he's actually like proud of that. Like he's like, that is so cool. Because like we're dealing with a god who, as I've talked about before, a god clearly was shamed by her wildness.
Mm-hmm.
And so Magnus doesn't like Barabask either, which is like, thank God. But like this idea of like knowing that she kept so much of herself still, despite the order that was expected of her, clearly is something that makes the people that worship her in her own temple very proud. And I think that's really nice and I wish, like, I'm glad that she's not there to know that, but that is, I think she would be really happy to know that they are proud of that fact, that she never gave up that part of her that they still love and respect in her own city.
Mm-hmm.
Her own city, like her true city. And I really liked that. He also like talks a lot of smack on Barabask, like says he is everything she was not. I can't understand what she saw in him, which I think is very funny because it's like, if my theories hold true, I think it's really funny that Magnus is saying to Radiant, like, I don't know what she ever saw in him.
Mm-hmm.
I just find that very funny. Like, that's normally not the context you get that line in.
No.
But I found it very funny. And that in this, what I really liked is that Magnus seemed to agree with my read of the situation, which was that Barabask was either meant to appease the orderly elves or to jail the part of her that was wild by having her servant, her like closest person, be one of the orderly elves to kind of keep her not in line, but to show that, see guys, like she is orderly.
To give that perception, right?
Her
Yep.
Antiqua is a high elf, so see guys, like, and how that felt like it reduced her, but also that Barabask was pretty much a parasite on her. And I really liked someone talking this much smack about Barabask, because that's kind of always been my read of Barabask, that like, yeah, he acted like he really liked her in the beginning when we didn't know the gods were dead, which clearly he did, but like we didn't know the gods were dead, and he was playing like perfect Antiqua, singing her songs and all that, but it's very clear that he hated this part of her that was so important to her. And so I always got the read that that's essentially what he was. Like, see guys, she's respectable, her Antiqua is respectable, and that's why he has so much hate for Taliska, because like he clearly hates that part of her, because there's no part of him that seems to like that part of her. He acts very high elf. And I don't know much about D&D high elves, but I know culturally high elves, because I like fantasy, and he's very much like that kind of person. It's all about order. We're better than everybody else. We're smarter than everyone else. We're more sophisticated than everyone else. And she's from the Feywild, so she obviously would never meet that standard by definition, because she is wild. So it's like, yeah, I'm glad Magnus has the same read as me. But what I really liked was the end of their conversation when Magnus said he wanted to help Radian, because in a way he's helping Thaelon, because Radian's like one of her true children. But then Radian telling him that he thinks he came there for love. Like Radian finally telling someone, hey, I think...
classic Radian, liking to tell everyone who doesn't care, who doesn't care about him, his closest confidants, the truth and what he's actually feeling.
Well, right? I think Magnus is an easy person to talk to about that kind of thing, because Magnus worships the wild. And if Radian is feeling things about his wild self that he doesn't know, a good person to kind of talk about those feelings with is somebody who respects that side, who respects like gods that aren't his own. And so I think it makes sense, because like, you know, he gets Thaelon in a way that the others aren't really going to get anyway, because not like any of them are elves and would have worshipped Thaelon. But and also he hates Barabask as much as Radian does, so like it's a win-win situation. They get to talk smack together. It's like girlies, like, you know, I really want to say the actual phrase that I want to say. I'm sure you can guess what it is. I don't like saying talking smack. It's not a real phrase to me. But like drinking wine over some tapas and just absolutely tearing apart the people you hate. Good for the both of them. I was really glad that scene existed. I think they both needed that out of their systems. Just like, yeah, we hate Barabask. He's terrible. I want to call him the other nickname I have, but again, I'm not allowed on this podcast to call him.
He's like a female dog.
Barra female dog.
Yep. I think it's...
I won't say it.
It is interesting to speculate on exactly how much Magnus knows and how exposed to the Antiqua he may have been over time, right?
Yeah.
I was listening to all this, obviously, as all of you were, last Tuesday, and thinking, geez, Radiant, just ask him, right?
It was a party.
He might still.
Obviously, he will have the opportunity to do so, likely.
It seems like a question for a goodbye conversation, because you're not going to get to talk to that person again.
Perhaps. Yep.
So.
Perhaps.
Also, he needs to go get that ding-dang map. or I'm gonna blow up.
Or Shan's gonna like jump through the screen and strangle him.
Radian, Benjamin, I'm begging. There's something he said in the action surge that made me laugh, made me
I
chuckle.
sure hope he remembers. Is all I could say. Yeah.
Yeah.
Although all those episodes were recorded quite close together, so fingers crossed that they
Fingers
remember.
crossed he remembers. Yeah.
But yeah, obviously they'll have another chance to ask him stuff, and it won't just be Radiant with the potential to ask him either. So
Yeah.
it'll be interesting. Given where this person is and how historically all of that stuff played out, it'll be interesting to see whether he also reveals certain other things about thorn bears and all sorts of other stuff
Yeah.
too at the same
I
time.
mean, he's also the white stag, so they need to have a conversation with him about Lathy too. So like, there's a lot of reasons to talk to Magnus. So hopefully, like,
Yep.
all of this comes up before he goes. Before
Hopefully
he
we'll
goes
get
to
a
Mouse.
a big lore dump. Yep.
Yeah.
Which will be nice. So yes, we had a Magnus chat.
Which I found interesting in the chat was that Magnus deduces that Radiant has passed between, like Theolon. And he even said by her hand. So maybe Theolon
Yeah,
sent him.
Yeah, like some sort of divine
Or helped him in some way.
happening.
Yep.
Yeah.
Thought that was interesting.
Yeah.
It does make you wonder whether she gave him the cards, or provided some way, and that she knows that these things need to be together potentially in order to do something, et cetera, et cetera. Yeah. I mean, she would be the person who would know. So, or was probably in a position to know, right? Cool. Yes.
The only
Andy.
that's the only other thing I can say. It's not strictly Nat 6 related, but I don't know if you guys have read the Raymond D. Feist books, Rift 4 Cycle.
No.
Because Magnus really reminds me of a character from there who seems like he knows a lot of stuff about magic, but he calls it tricks. It's all just magic tricks that he does, not actual proper magic. So that's how
Yeah.
I picture him.
You're right. It is at this point unknown exactly how powerful our good friend Magnus actually is.
Yeah.
Could be very, or could be not that much, as you say, Andy. Right? Yeah. Yeah. Worldliness is also a form of magic, right? Yeah.
Kind of akin to the docents, isn't it?
Yep. Definitely. Anything else from that kind of early part, guys?
I listening to his own reflection
Yes.
and the pickled egg and the pickled egg.
Pickled egg, yeah.
The pickled egg pocket.
No, but in all seriousness, also they had the they're not called the council. I keep calling them the council, discussing what to
The
do about
elders.
Barabbas.
Elders, yeah.
Yeah, the elders. And the idea of them not all agreeing on
Yeah, and it actually
What to
required some
do.
persuasion, right? It could have gone rough for them.
yeah.
Yeah, but they did in the end help the party out in setting up.
Yeah, because I mean, fair enough. You don't want to make enemies of a presumed god.
I mean, yeah, it's
But I would say Taliska's already his enemies. He targeted them on purpose. He clearly hates that city, so it's like
Yeah.
well, it's a logical thing to take, right?
F this city in particular kind of vibes from
Yep.
him because of his clear disdain for them, let alone the tactical advantage of making like a city that would maybe help his enemies take them out.
Yeah, be very difficult to have as an ally then, right?
Yeah.
Yep. I was gonna say something. regarding what we were just talking about before, and I can't remember what it is now. It'll come back to me.
I've derailed.
Anything else, guys, about the middle? I don't think.
Good size tiny napkins for I. It's funny.
Yes, the beautiful sized napkins. I remember now. Andy, have you had a pickled egg?
I have.
Oh,
Not something I want to repeat. I like pickled onions, but pickled eggs, no.
I agree. I have had a few pickled eggs, but pickled onion, yeah. Short Trek, have you seen or been exposed to pickled eggs?
I have not, no.
No, that's a problem. That is a problem with a solution. That when we next see you at MCM,
Especially
is
in
it a
London.
problem?
I'm not sure.
well, you can at least see them.
Yeah.
See them, yeah,
Plenty of fish and chip shops to visit. And
Yeah, and pubs. Yeah.
yeah.
Shan, have you had the pleasure?
No,
No,
that's not a standard staple over here. I don't think.
you didn't. You didn't get exposed when you were in Ireland.
Not really.
No.
Or at least I don't remember being exposed to it in
Yeah.
Ireland. Like, I was also when I was a kid as well. I was picky, so like, so even then I wouldn't, when I was with like my parents and going to more places because I was there for 2 weeks, I wouldn't have been paying attention because I was a picky eater and I was like 9 or 10. So it's like. But yeah, as an adult, I might not have been there long enough. No,
Yeah,
I went
or-
for a week in 2022. Yeah, I didn't see
Going
it.
to the right pubs, basically. Yeah.
Well, and I was also told, we shared an Uber with a chef who was visiting home, and we were talking to him, and he was telling us, like, even in the years since we had been there, like, in general, the cuisine in Ireland had improved, as he put it, like changed and improved from what it was like when we went in 2002 or 2003, I forget.
Yeah.
But he, like, the food everything we ate was A, phenomenal, and B, like, it definitely seemed not necessarily traditional, which makes sense. I mean, globalization will affect everybody eventually. But yeah, so like I didn't see anything. It might have been that we didn't go to many like pubs that were
Traditional
still
pubs,
traditional. Yeah, we might have ended up just not going to. Plus, we couldn't take my dad everywhere. If my dad had been more able-bodied at the time, I'm sure he probably would have done more. But like we were in Hoth, and it was all seafood, obviously, because it's on the coast. So like. I don't think I saw it anywhere that we went. So, marked safe from the pickled egg.
Another issue that can be addressed.
Oh no, to me that's fine. That's not an issue.
You can at
I
least see
think
them.
Why do you want me to look upon them? I've definitely seen it in shows and stuff. Jars of pickled eggs. Like I know that they exist. I know that those are things that happen.
You need to be in their
unfortunately
presence,
for
though,
everyone. Oh God.
Good. We can move swiftly on from pickled eggs then.
Now we can reveal the spoiler.
Okay.
That Elwyn was looking up the Thornbears, and Harry texted her what she found.
Yes.
So nobody else knows until she reveals it.
Should she choose to?
Should she choose to?
I have a feeling she won't.
No. Or she'll wait for, like, the most emotionally damaging opportunity. Because she has been particularly angry with Radiant as of late. I mean, he doesn't help his case, but the dreams have...
projection from her, isn't it?
Yeah, a lot of it's projection because of her dreams. And, like, she had that one really bad dream about Radiant, and, like, the eye dream got fixed. And even though, like, you could technically say his dream got fixed, too, because she had the dream where they all were, like, supporting her. But he didn't have a particular dream that fixed that.
Yeah.
So I think that's why Holly's holding on to that suspicion, because Elwyn understandably would also hold on to that suspicion until there's a revision. And he's clearly dealing with personal stuff, and she's taking that
It's
as
gotta come to a head at some point, though,
it's
right?
just like with Dolly. It's got to. But the thing is for once, Radiant's not really doing anything particularly wrong. Like, I too would be concerned if an agent of the web was like telling everyone around me that I'm a terrible person and like I'm capable of terrible things, especially Elwyn.
Especially if I am capable of
Yeah.
of terrible things.
And, well, yeah, and
Yeah.
but you don't want, like, you're trying to not be
to
that.
come,
You're trying to
move forward from that.
Yeah, and like the fact is that, and obviously like he didn't know this at the time. He found out later that like Elwyn basically had a dream where he was capable of something completely terrible.
Mm-hmm.
And he already told them the terror. We don't know how bad it was, but he told them what he did. So they are aware that he killed his own most of his own family. He's told them. He didn't. Maybe Dolly has most of the details, but he's told them.
Mm-hmm.
I was abused. I killed them because I was told to by the web. And I liked it because they tortured me.
Yep.
Bare basics. So, like, it's one of those things where it's a lot more complicated on the surface than it seems it is. But because Elwyn had that dream, she's holding on to that. And, hello. She's holding on to that.
Whoa.
And she keeps being reminded of it, too, because Harry keeps whispering it in her ear every time Radiant like does something she doesn't like or does something untrustworthy. So it's like technically it's innocent. Like Dolly knows that he's being stalked, and clearly what he's trying to do is just get this guy off his back, and maybe he'll actually act on it. But at the end of the day, I think he's trying to get this guy off his back because he's trying to do something here, and this guy clearly is telling everyone not to trust him. And it's like, man, I'm trying to get this army mustard to help save Reliquia. I can't have this guy like telling everyone I'm a murderer. So I think his number one thing was to get rid of him, and then obviously whatever else he's plotting. But I think the number one thing is get this guy out of here. I got too much to deal with. But like,
I agree, Shan.
yeah, so it's like he's not up to anything particularly bad. And then the fact that like she got suspicious of him just going to the bank, for God's sakes, the info bank. Like, he has a right to sort of be like obviously he hasn't told them. He did. Like, Ben told them, so now Holly gets to know that Elwyn is mad for no reason.
Yeah.
But, like, basically, he's not doing anything bad. He's just going out, getting information, dealing with stuff. But because she already doesn't trust him, she's projecting that he's doing something bad onto him until he tells her. And then even if he tells her, will she believe him? That he's not doing anything.
He has had previous.
Exactly.
Yeah,
but he's come around and at least given them information as to what he was doing on those other occasions. Not all the information, but enough to realize that it might not be as bad as it could have been.
Certainly as it initially appeared, for sure.
Yeah.
I think he could certainly
I don't love to defend Radiant, but like
I think he could certainly do a better job
He
of allaying some fears, shall we say?
Yeah.
But yeah.
So could my cat do a better job of not knocking things
Not
off
knocking the things off the desk.
we had a good time tormenting this cat when Andy walked away from not tormenting. We were like during the Artemis stream, he left the cat, so we were going pss, 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 to the cat, and we actually got his attention.
Got his attention, yeah.
It was very funny. But yeah,
Poor
yeah.
cat.
So like, it's a lot, and so now she's trying to get some information on him that I'm sure will absolutely be brought up at a normal time and a normal place.
A normal time and a normal place.
The question for me is, will she bring it up in front of the party or just go to him? Because I feel like if she's angry, it'll be the whole party.
Yeah.
If she's not, she'll actually try and talk to him.
Hard to tell.
So it's hard to tell. Or she'll talk to somebody else before she talks to him. Like, she could go to Dolly before him because Dolly, despite like having that big blow up with him and Dolly seem to at least be at an understanding.
For sure.
Because he told her the worst things he's done that we're aware of. And she feels like she betrayed him, and he's told her that she's loved. So, like, they're good. Him and Dolly are good. So if she has any worries about what she's learned, she'd probably go to Dolly first. But if she's mad enough, anything can happen.
Yep.
So I guess we'll see.
Yes, she definitely has a history of being difficult to move from her position. So we'll see how that works out for them. Anything else from that middle section, guys? I mean, obviously we can talk about what Radian found. I'm really surprised that he went there alone. Actually, but
In terms of escalation, Elo now has waking flashes of the dream.
Yeah, she's glitching.
To actually get that in real life, in waking life. I think that's partly because all members of her party are now on the list.
on the list,
Yeah, what is that list?
on the
It's-
naughty list.
Yeah. It's almost like he's doing the version of magic items that are awakened and then
Yep.
go up in level, kind of.
I do wonder whether this is making it harder and harder as well to. We've talked about the potential for a series of spells which could potentially be used to remove evil things from this weapon. But it does feel like it's becoming worse, not easier, or harder, not easier, to remove these things from Alwyn in particular. And it'll be interesting to see when we have the next combat exactly how that's going to play out for her. Anything else before Radiant, guys?
What do we think
I
this
realize
list
I
is?
have to talk about this in a second again.
The list, sorry, short term.
I was thinking, do we know what this list is about? Because at first I thought it was people she could trust, but this
That's
time,
certainly what it felt like, yeah.
but this time it was
The
very
reverse.
specifically
It's always
triggering
in
on
the reverse.
Very
Elwyn
Elwyn will
mentioning-
remember that.
mentioning her family to them.
Yeah.
I think it's the reverse. I think it's the people
Yeah.
that she shouldn't trust.
But
But she
That
should trust,
doesn't
but
really
the
make sense.
sword is trying to turn
Yeah.
her against them, basically.
Yep.
The sword wants inter-party conflict.
because Radiant wasn't on it before, so I
Yep.
think if it was about not trusting them, then Radiant would have been the first to make the list, and I think it was Dolly, who's actually the one she trusts most.
Yep.
So I'm quite
Uh,
confused on it.
Yeah, it'll be. I think now that everybody's on it, as Harry
Yeah.
said in the action surge, he's like, well, now everybody's on the list, so I don't need to remember who is or who is not on the list.
Yeah.
I wondered as well whether it was so that he could remember who was in a primary dream and who wasn't in a primary dream, and not have them be duplicated, basically. But now that they've all kind of cycled through, I don't know what he's going to do now to escalate it.
Harry also said it was a list for Holly, not Elwyn.
True. Yes.
So I don't know
Yeah.
what it means.
Yeah. I expect
Interesting,
some.
anyway.
I expect some off-camera discussions have been had about that short track.
Very possible. Yeah.
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 So our good friend Radian and Malachi,
Mordecai.
Mordecai.
Mordecai
Yeah.
Mordecai.
and the Chronicle or the Chronicles.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean,
Yes.
even if he had brought someone, it's once again something only he can do. And so, like, I can kind of get why it wouldn't matter if he brought someone or not. Because they weren't going to be able
True.
to see what he saw,
True,
both
but
literally and figuratively.
yeah, I mean, he didn't. He went there though, I think, looking for information about where he could find the
The book.
Yeah,
the book.
the Shadowfell artifact, basically, right? So
Well, the only person I guess that he would bring is Kel, because
Kel.
Kel is the only one who knows what he's doing. So it's like maybe he could have brought Kel, but at the same time, it's like he's considering this his little project. So it's like
He
I
might have
kinda
done
guess.
if Kel wasn't recuperating and relearning Skyway.
oh yes, he's having a moment,
yes,
Having a nap.
yeah,
having a little nip nap.
I think that would have been the logical thing to do. Obviously, Shan.
And it's not like he kept it a secret. I forgot I was going to get to talk about this again because I forgot he
Again.
did actually tell them.
Yes.
But we'll get to that. We'll get to that.
He-
But like
he did
he
actually
doesn't
tell
keep it a
them-
secret. So for what
He-
that's worth.
No. No, he does not.
No.
No, he does not. But, and Andy can attest to this, doing stuff on your own in D&D is often a recipe for disaster. And I realize that Ben is not exactly a seasoned 1,000-session player either. But yeah, doing stuff on your own, especially with, and maybe there'll be more opportunity for him to kind of learn this. There was a pretty extensive discussion during the Action Surge about characters being good at certain things, right? And putting yourself in a situation to succeed, right? Or the best position to succeed. And I do think sometimes Ben forgets that there are other people who may be able to do something better, and put him in a situation where he can have a better chance of success. But obviously, he absolutely killed it on this particular situation.
He did a good
So,
job.
It's hard to fault him necessarily.
Also, if that's the way he wants his character to be, where he's like, you also don't necessarily want him to go too, because I'm not a D&D player, but I'm an enjoyer of stories. And if you see your character as someone who wouldn't ask for help, it's strange to go out of character just to, because it's the smart thing to do, unless
100%
you
Shan.
see it being something.
100%.
So obviously, I don't come in with any D&D experience, but for me, it's like made sense. Radiant would do that. I wasn't surprised at all.
Yeah, I mean, I think in that situation, you have to take advantage of that as the party a little bit, right?
Yeah.
And be like, hey, you're going over here. I can help you with that.
Yeah.
Right? But you do have to be forthcoming with what you're planning to do as well,
Yeah.
in order for that to happen, right?
I guess because he was like, "Oh, I'm just going to the library, guys.
Yeah.
I'm just going to the bank." Like,
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
It probably depends on the situations. He probably just, I don't see this
100%.
as something dangerous or
100%.
suspicious.
I mean, because he's done
Surprise, it was
He has
suspicious.
done the whole party thing with. He did the whole party thing with Magnus. He did the whole party
Yeah.
thing with all of the stuff at the temple. So
Yeah.
it's not like he attempted to do all of that stuff himself, right?
It also depends on if Harry wants it to be a moment where
Yeah.
he doesn't want everybody else there or not. Because, like, maybe Ben wanted to do that but didn't know
That Harry was
if
gonna,
the whole party,
that Harry was going to tell everybody
Hard to
else
say.
to bugger off. Basically,
It depends on, I
Right.
guess, because it depends on the information he expects Ben to get. Is it privileged information versus is it something that Ben doesn't have to relay to anybody else?
Yeah, and
'Cause-
nobody. Certainly, Harry did not disclose how much of that he had planned.
Yeah.
I get the feeling that he had a reasonable amount of it planned, right? But
It had the location, like, pretty
Yeah,
much
yeah,
designed.
on the top of
yeah.
on the top of his head.
But Ben had also previously said in previous episodes that he would like to do this. So there was it
An
wasn't as
opportunity
though
for Harry to come up with
to
something.
it was certainly an opportunity for Harry to plan, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was not trying to ad lib it in the
absolutely
moment,
not. No.
right?
Because because a lot of Radiant's visions and stuff are done in secret. So, like, I can guess if Harry planned for there to be an opportunity
vision
for
here.
a vision, he'd want them to leave. So it's kind of one of those,
Yep.
like, you have to anticipate a situation, so he asked them all to leave. Not that it really mattered. Again, Radiant tells them what he was doing, but...
I think there might have been more stuff there. Because when Radiant walked in, Mordecai said there are stories about Radiant here as well.
Mm.
And I was just wondering if that was just the recent stuff, like what they did at Taliska, or if that also it was all the stuff.
Yep.
I'll have
And
to
I
see if anybody
think that
takes...
might have been something there.
I, having just thought, wonder if the halfling that you spoke to had come in and told a story about what Radiant did while he was in the web.
Interesting.
Possibility. Or
Interesting.
there's another possibility, and I can use it as a segue.
Go for it, Shan.
Or if Theolon left any stories there about anyone, because Radiant has a vision of the woman with golden hair again.
And green eyes.
I did write Theolon, question mark, Liz? Really big. So back to the Radiant Wrestler there, just kidding. So he sees a woman with a face who can't render, but it's golden hair and green eyes, which matches Theolon's description. And she said, and it does say her eyes. Harry specifically said her eyes. And she said, it'll be all right. And to me, that very much feels like the whole, like a conversation about leaving or going away. And I mean, that's all he gets. But that's quite a bit of information.
Right.
Yeah. And it was a really good role. So yeah, possible glimpse of Theolon once more. But more importantly, there's more secret script for him in her books, or in her book,
Yes.
because they let him look at the actual songs of Theolon that she actually wrote, like her holy book, or as it were, and he finds a secret script that she left. Not necessarily if anyone can read this, but like, if anyone can read this. And I might be paraphrasing here because I was trying to write really fast. But cards for the wild, the whispers of caged souls, pendant for the virtuous, secrets for they who have none, book for the
amulet
vile,
for
truth
virtue.
guarded for those whom the word means cowardice.
Yep.
Pretty much it.
Yeah,
Yep.
sorry about the typo. Again, I was writing really fast and I had to write that part in after, and I couldn't rewind, but I paraphrased it. Yeah.
Indeed.
I ran out of space too because I had to move on. So I wrote the next line down and then went back and squeezed it in. So
the more of this that happens, the more my feeling that Radiant was possibly Theolon's Antiqua from the...
mixing business with pleasure, ma'am. Anyway.
Perhaps.
Yeah, like there's a good chance. Yeah.
There's a good chance.
I've thought that for sure.
And that the reason why he's so weird as a wizard is because he's not a wizard, he's a cleric.
Yeah.
Right.
Or something to that nature, yes.
I mean, it doesn't mean that the Antiqua of the Feywild need to be clerics. They could be wizards instead. But yeah, it's kind of interesting.
Yeah. I definitely thought that before I came up with
The
my
Rizzler
crazy
theory?
Rizzler theory. Yeah, I definitely wondered, based on some of his visions and things like that, if he was like an Antiqua to somebody, whether it was Theolon or not, in the Feywild. And I forget when this was that I was thinking it, or what caused it. And I don't remember if it was before or after the Rizzler theory, but it was definitely something I had considered if he was a Feywild
Yep.
Antiqua, and that's why he had the deck.
Mm-hmm.
But now I'm starting to wonder if he never had the deck at all. Because based on that vision he had in the temple.
And why it's so linked to him and all this kind of stuff, it's quite, yeah.
It's hard to say. It's one of those things where it's like you need a little bit more information before you start really deep theorizing. But yeah, I definitely wondered if that's why his magic was so wacky in part, was like if he was an Antiqua, but he like changed like class or something, especially because he can't read his book. And like, I don't know enough about D&D to like say what that means. And it might not even mean anything having to do with D&D. It could be a homebrew thing. So it's like a lot of interesting stuff.
Yeah, I mean, the
like,
fact that he doesn't necessarily feel the classical affinity to it.
But that could also be from crossing to a world where the magic is different. Like,
There's
who's to say?
So many unknowns there. That's like mad speculating.
Oh, Radian,
obviously.
I'm going to put you in the pear box and shake you. I don't know if you guys know that meme of the bruised pear box, where somebody like made a simulation of like what pears in a box during shipping. And it just shows like the bruise patterns and stuff. And so like sometimes I think about like when things annoy me or I want to know more, I'm like, I want to put you in the pear box and shake you around
up a little bit.
Yeah, shake you around. Put you in a maraca and just, you know. But yeah, lots of, but yeah, I'm glad somebody else has wondered. I never brought it up, in part because I don't really bring up any of my theories because I don't want to be seen and judged. The only reason I brought up the Rizzler theory in the first place because I was really confident about that one. But I too have wondered if he was in Antiqua, and that's why he was able to do what he was able to do.
I'm sure in like 20 or 30 episodes,
40 episodes.
Sufficient things will be revealed,
13
which
episodes.
we will look back and go, it was so obvious. But yeah.
I just want to be right. And I think I am. The more time that goes by, like, I can't wait for the day. Like, I'm not expecting to have one of those moments where, like, you know how sometimes they call out names of people? I really think it would be really funny if we find out I'm right. And then I have to hear about how everyone's been seeing me talk about this for a year. And because it's almost a year, because I posted it in July last year, I think. But, like, it would be really funny if they're like, Shan, you can finally shut up. You're free. You're free, queen. Be free.
Yep.
Oh, hi, Bear. Don't get out of my stuff.
Theory confirmed. Right.
Hey, Bubba.
In deference to our lovely timeline here. Anything else before we begin the rapid fall of our friend Atticus?
Yeah, I thought it was really funny that Radian told Elowen stuff, and then she got mad at him, and he was like, well, what about you? You're having all these dreams. She's like, no, I'm not. Like, I just thought it was like, obviously I'm a huge Elowen fan, and I think she's right all the time. But I was like, you can't get mad at him for lying when he told you the truth, and then lie. Like, that's part of what the problem was before. Well, last time the man had a fight with somebody. And so I think, like, it's always crazy when Radian is the one who doesn't do something wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he came, like, here's what I did. Here's why I did it. And here's what I found. And she's just like, why are you keeping secrets? And he's like, well, something's wrong with you. And she's like, no, there isn't. Like, Elowen, they want to help you. You need to let them help you. And again, it's so hard to tell
She
if it's
doesn't
the
want to get
sword.
help. She doesn't want to be helped, though, right? Yep.
She doesn't want to be helped. There's nothing wrong. And it's like, it's so funny. When I literally wrote, Radiant confronts her back, says they all know something is wrong. She doesn't tell them exactly what she's seeing. And it's like, this could all be cleared up if you tell them what you're seeing. But, no.
Nope.
And then I wrote, this is all about one thing. The truth. So I find it very funny. Anyway.
I would not even go as far as to say the truth. I would say it's all about one thing.
Well, that's something somebody else said, but it's just ironic that was the next conversation they had.
All about communication, guys.
Yeah, it's all about communication.
It's pretty straightforward. And anything else before our good friend Atticus
Speaking of whom,
begins his fall?
of course, just before it all goes down, radio message again to Atticus, nothing is going to happen.
Yes.
Death isn't
I got
final.
this deck.
Death isn't final. We can correct it.
Yeah.
Which was
Oh man.
extremely funny.
I think the only person that didn't promise him that he would be safe was Dolly.
Yeah.
She doesn't. Yeah.
Everybody
she's
else
smart.
was like, it'll be fine. We'll protect you. Yeah.
She's too smart for that.
Yeah. It obviously went spectacularly wrong. Andy, what do you think Barabask cast on Atticus?
I think it was just something simple like a guiding bolt, to be honest. I don't think he needed to be any more overpowered than that.
Mm-hmm.
He knew what he was dealing with and just needed to do 8 points of damage to effectively kill him outright
Yep.
to get him to -4 hit points. So
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've been theory crafting about this as well. I thought it might have been something more powerful like the harm spell, but that's maybe too much.
harm is a touch, but there's no reason why he wouldn't have another effect to be able
Yep.
to do it at range. But yeah,
Well, you're right. Guiding Bolt's a good one.
Incredible.
Guiding Bolt. What else do you think it could have been? I'm trying to think.
I mean, it was specifically described as a beam or bolt, so
Yeah.
not that many options that I could find. At least not in the regular.
Sunbeam would be
Do I need to get the book?
6th level? 5th
I
level?
always visualize that as more of like a beam of light coming from above, not from
Obviously
Like a
true.
director thing, but
6th level. Yeah.
something else.
I've got the book if you need it.
But yeah, flashes from your hand, 5 foot wide, 60 foot long, also fits. Obviously. And I did wonder whether, because it was a beam wide like that, whether that's the reason why Harry asked where they were positioned. But I honestly can't remember if he did that. He obviously did it when the mirror shattered.
I think the shattering in the mirror would have hit everyone regardless of their position anyway.
Yeah.
I think
But
the
I
only time
can't
line
remember
of sight
whether
came
he-
up was when Dolly went to put the shroud over
yes.
and didn't
Yeah.
didn't meet that DC without being seen. So
What I thought
think-
was interesting about all that, which Harry, I think, played a little bit fast and loose with this, which is if it's a mirror, guys, and you can see him, he can see you.
Yeah.
So,
Yep.
and there's kind of no way around that, right? So, I mean, other than magical means, obviously. So he was obviously playing a little bit fast and loose with that.
yeah, it's
Right.
difficult for it to be because without the gem in it, would it just act like a normal mirror? Or once the gem's in it, it does just create that field of vision for
For the person who's, yeah,
yeah.
no idea.
I always got the impression that the mirror was a thing in itself, and the gem was just put there to infect the.
To modify it in some way. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I doubt we will get an opportunity to ask that question.
Certainly not of Atticus.
No, we will not.
He's not going to be very helpful.
I'm trying to remember now. I think I counted down the number of words he said before he got blasted. It was like 14 or something like that. Yeah.
And there was not even any attempt to bring him back or save him or do anything
No.
about him.
No. I
Nothing.
mean, obviously, Doug spoke
Doug,
about that
yeah,
quite a
Doug.
bit in the action surge about, and Harry gave him the opportunity multiple times to do something, and chose not to. I really hope there is a moment here in 52 coming up that allows the party to talk to his family, in particular his son, and reassure them of what he's done for them, right?
Some kind of state funeral kind of thing as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I hope that
To show that there is redemption.
yes. And obviously it kind of all started off with him saying to everybody, oh, I did this bad thing, but I hope you can forgive me, basically. And hopefully that arc is able to be closed. There was quite a substantial amount of joking about the next episode being a fun episode where there might be winter sports involved and all sorts of other things, which Harry put a swiftly put all of those ideas to the sword. So yeah, maybe we start off with a funeral, Andy. But I hope there's an opportunity for them to kind of have some closure with that, because it would feel kind of weird if it was left open-ended.
Yeah.
Right.
Especially with Kel, who spent time with Michaelmas.
Mm-hmm.
It would be
Definitely.
weird.
Definitely. I don't think Barabask really revealed anything that was noteworthy. Did he?
Well, other than he didn't outright deny what Atticus was talking about, and
No.
then said, well, now you've condemned this city to die. So
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, he
it's kind of-
basically
he
proved that
definitely
they were right.
outed himself. Yeah.
Yeah. But I guess he's banking on the fact that only Taliska saw it, and obviously it's going to take time for other people to find out, I guess.
Well, he's banking. He's certainly banking Shan on that because they didn't. Did he see everybody in the
Nope.
room?
No, he did
right?
not.
He
Yep.
only saw
He
the
only
party.
saw them. So he doesn't know that Taliska knows.
Knows.
He's banking on the
Yeah.
fact that nobody knows.
Didn't they turn the mirror at the last minute? I think they did. I think he showed them the room. He showed them the
I don't know if
Oh,
he
yeah.
did. He
Ben
show them room.
Raging
Yeah,
did.
no, yeah, because I
Yeah.
wrote down,
Maybe
this
he
is
did.
your sinless. Yeah. He
Nope,
did.
You're
And
right.
that's when he shouted.
So
in anger
yeah,
and
but I
shattered
guess
the mirror.
he's banked. But my first point still stands. He's banking on information being too slow, or
Certainly.
that maybe they haven't destroyed the crystal. You know what I mean? Like he's banking on like his plan from before them showing up still
He's
working. He
doing
doesn't know.
a
that-
lot of hoping. That's for sure.
Yeah,
Yep.
he doesn't know that they've basically messed with all of his plans with Taliska.
Mm-hmm.
And now he's got to hope that the word doesn't get out fast enough for it to matter.
Yep.
And little does he know they also mustered over 500 people for the
Mm-hmm.
for the cause. So,
Yep. I didn't-
542 out of 600.
Which was some fine rolling.
Oh, yeah.
I even rolled to muster because I thought it would be fun, and I got a 94.
Excellent.
Nice.
Yep. I posted it in the chat, so there's proof. I'm not making that up.
I should roll to muster now.
Yeah, everybody rolled a muster if you didn't at the watch party.
I don't have my dice with me, so you guys
never
will
mind,
have
you
to
can't.
do it on my behalf.
Okay, wait, hold on.
You've got 2 cents for sure, right?
I'll do it for you right now. I don't need to do it again, so.
Mm-hmm.
You got 85.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Happy to hear it. Whoa. Happy to hear it.
I rolled with my new dispel dice as well.
Whoa, that's loud.
83.
83. Excellent.
I got
I let the
beautiful
side down
new
with my
dispel dice.
36.
Ooh.
Well,
My new dispel dice, Cosmic Storm.
There's gotta
by
be
the
one.
way.
Ooh, Cosmic Storm.
I was really torn between two, so if anybody sees me order another set, don't ask questions. But yeah, this one's gorgeous.
I thought
It
you were
lost-
about to say I just bought both. But
No, I almost did, but then I bought my jewelry instead. But I was really torn, and there was a tie in and we did a roll off because obviously that's what Dispel does for you. They'll say roll them and see
Oh,
what
if
happens.
you roll them, then yeah.
Yeah, they're very fun about that. Because they did that last time I was there too. And I was really torn between two, and I thought about getting the other one because I don't have fantasy dice. But Cosmic Storm did eventually. There was a tie on the first roll, and then Cosmic Storm won the second. But the other one was like the Hunt for the Unicorn, and it was they were green with unicorns on. I was so tempted. But I also love space, so.
Yeah, I'm really hoping
I'll order
that,
them later.
I'm really hoping that they get a UK or at least European distributor that has more
If not,
stuff.
next time I see them, which will probably be at PAX next year, or PAX Unplugged if they go to Unplugged, because I might go to Unplugged.
Yep. Definitely, because yeah, I'm not really keen on paying like 30 or 40 quid or basically 3/4 of the price of the dice for shipping and customs and all that jazz.
Yeah.
Cool. Anything else we want to say on 51, guys?
I thought it was really funny that in Action Surge, this is the thing I was alluding to. Ben said, "I saw Thalon," and Harry went, "Maybe."
Like, maybe you did. Maybe. Well,
And I just
maybe
was
you
like,
did, maybe you didn't.
I was like, "Benjamin, please get on my level. Please start to see that you are the father." No, we don't know that for sure, but I'm pretty sure. But it did make me chuckle. It made me chuckle quite a bit, and I love that he has it. Like, he could connect the dots right now if he wanted to. And as far as we're aware, he has not. He might have. He hasn't said that he has.
He hasn't said that he has.
But he does think that he does now think that the woman he's seeing now is Thalon. And the woman he saw, maybe he's figured out that
seen previously.
the woman in the temple is also. Do I think he's connected the dots all the way back to the beginning? No.
Ooh, I don't know. Yeah.
He needs to talk more. Benjamin, please, for my sanity, I need to know what you think about all this. And I know you're not going to say because it's spoilers, but I'm curious. But yeah, as far as we're aware, he hasn't connected any dots.
No.
No. Good for him. I wish I lived in ignorance.
Did you guys... do you think that he will go back to the statues again?
Yes.
Yeah.
Ooh, well, I think he's going to go to the
Well-
temple at the very least.
Well,
We get into predictions in a minute, but yeah.
yeah.
That's one of mine.
yeah.
Good. I think it'll be interesting if he does. Yeah. Let's see
He has
whether
to go back to talk to Magnus.
whether things
regardless.
change. Yeah.
So.
At all. There was some confusion, I think, in the chat in general about if Magnus is going, then who's leading now, and whether
Right.
he's actually going and whether he's not, and all that. So we'll see how much that weird continuity
Yeah, because I
gets
think
resolved.
the way I understood it when they first talked to him, I thought he was going with them because he's the white stag.
Yeah.
But now, obviously they meant go to Mouse.
I mean, that's what they
So-
asked him to do, right?
Yeah, I must have misunderstood because I thought because they needed the white stag to find the dragons that he was going to go with them.
That he provides them with the map to find the dragons?
Perhaps,
I mean-
yeah. Now, perhaps I think he's just going to give them information before they part ways.
Is he this white stag, or is he? I mean, he's the stag. I know, but is he the white stag?
Yeah, so his medal was. They said we're looking for a white stag, and he showed them
He
the other
showed
side
them
of his
the-
medal.
Okay.
Yeah. I think that the implication is that it was him. He doesn't outright say it, but the way he smiles at them and everything else. So I think the implication is he's the man they're actually looking for.
Yep.
In two senses. He
And
was
Harry's
the
been
one Lovac sent.
pretty good about not like dangling a carrot in front of them and then going and pulling it away at the last second, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I was actually
So-
thinking maybe he could point them to the white stag, being a stag himself. Point them to the
It
white
is
stag.
completely possible,
I
Short
don't know.
Track, that there are multiple
did-
stags,
I don't
etc.
remember the.
Yeah, because
Go ahead, Shan.
I just started to wonder if, like, because he's the head of the Temple of the Once Wild, that he keeps in communication with the wildest place in Reliquiae, which would be a moving forest. Like, it just kind of makes sense to me if, like, he's
Mhm.
maybe a guardian of some sort or a keeper of information for
Yep.
that. I mean, not sure if that's as deep as, like, if I'm going deeper than Harry does, but I guess it would make sense to me, like, the more I think about it, that the person who's in charge of the Temple of the Once Wild, which is the last city before you reach Lathy, might be in communication with
100%.
Lathy or the dragons of Lathy, as it were.
100%. And like we were discussing earlier, we don't know how powerful this particular individual is.
Maybe
No, but
he
he's
is a-
very cool because he hates Barabbas.
Maybe he is a dragon.
He could be.
He certainly could be. Stranger things have happened, Short Trek. Yes. Yes. Anything else, guys? On 51.
I have two things from Action Search that
Mhm.
I found interesting. Ben saying that he never planned to have Radium save Atticus with the deck, even though he told him almost explicitly that he would. And the other thing is that Barabbas is impatient and like Moloch.
Mm. Yeah.
Yeah, I wrote that too. He doesn't know patience because he's not a true god. A god who can live forever learns patience, but a man made into a god hasn't had the time to learn such a lesson.
Mm-hmm.
So I do find that to be a really good distinction. And I think it's really, like, it tells you a lot of information, but also, like, it kind of gives us a little glimpse at the man himself. Because even though he's been given the power of a god, he doesn't know how to behave like one.
Very true.
I won't say it. I wanted to call him
Very
a
true.
POS.
He's a bad guy.
He's terrible.
Yes, he is a bad guy. Cool. Anything else before we move on to 52 and then we can do our predictions? I'll get Shan to roll some dice for me.
I do like that. Listening to Harry talk about Atticus, I do kind of see the value in not trying to bring him back. Because, like, and Harry said he wouldn't have been surprised either way, but just talking about, like, redemption through death, sort of thing, because, like, yeah, obviously you needed that for the mustering to work. Because, like, I agree with Alex. Like, what kind of mustering would this be if the word gets out, like, oh my God, he killed Atticus. Well, so he's dead? No, he's fine now. I was like, yeah, that, like, yeah, the idea of giving him a second chance, both versions are nice, but only one kind of makes sense for what they needed in that moment, which was mustering the people of Taliska. If, like, he got hurt or something, yeah, you could still argue that, yeah, if he just dies in front of all those people and is brought back, like, he's, I'm fine now, I got better. It's like, does it have the same weight? If he had gotten hurt and had not died, you could argue you would still have the same effect.
I think all of those eventualities could have made sense from a story perspective.
Yeah, like, everything works. I guess it's to you what you think the better
yeah.
storytelling moment is.
I'm fine with how it worked out. I could also see you made the ultimate sacrifice and this group of very powerful heroes chose to give you a second chance, right?
Doug did not choose to give you a second chance.
He did not. Neither did Radian,
No.
for that matter. And they did discuss a little bit that the cards can have rather unpredictable
They
consequences
can
as
hurt
well.
as well as they can help.
So
yeah.
it could have made it spectacularly worse, for example.
Troy Baker.
Could have been Troy Baker, could have been all sorts of situations. You could have had that previous card, I can't remember exactly which one, that voomped people out of existence effectively.
Yeah.
Saban Zumar.
Yeah. That obviously would have been a spectacular fail, shall we say. So
It's like giving a dog a piece of chocolate before you put it down. to quote one of my favorite tweets from this week, as a fan of the pit, it's almost like Radiant showing him the deck was like, not that was actually what Ben was going for, but it's like giving a dog a piece of chocolate before you put it down. Like, this could help
yep.
or not.
Or not. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. I think that's us. 151, guys. Let's move on to 52 and some predictions. I'm going with one, guys. I'm sticking to it.
He's
Shannon.
never giving up.
Nope.
How much do I want to do this week? I said 4 last time. I'll do 3.
Okay. Andy.
I'll take the 4 then.
4. Short Shark. How many words do you think will be in the title?
I'm thinking either 5 or 6. I think I'll go 7. Say 5.
You're gonna go 5. All right.
Yeah.
Excellent. Well, then you can also give us your prediction.
So I have 2. One is that they'll return to the Temple of the Once Wild,
Mm-hmm.
and something wild will happen there. Something wild.
Return to the temple. Something wild.
And I know that Jazzy has predicted combat there with minis,
Yes.
and that could be it, but could also be something else.
Jazzy combat with minis. Andy.
I think the Eloan sword thing will come to a head before they leave.
Eloan
Taliska.
sword. Yeah. Yep. What about you, Shannon?
This is a tough one.
Mm-hmm.
So toughy boy. I've been doing really good with the radiant visions, so I'm gonna guess that he has one last vision
Okay.
before they leave the city of the once wild, and I'm also gonna guess that he's gonna get that stupid map before they leave. Please, for the love of God, Ben, remember the map.
Can I
It's a
actually,
map. It's a map. It's a map.
It's a map.
You need
Yeah.
to take the map.
Can
Dora
I
the
predict the
Explorer.
opposite? Can I predict that they'll forget about the map?
Oh God.
You can predict that they will forget about the map. Forget
Trying to think if
about
there's
map.
anything else.
Shan's going with they will remember the map.
I just want him to remember the map. I'm not saying that they will. I'm hoping, for God's sake.
Remember the map, damn it.
Remember
yes.
the map, Ben. I'm in
anything
your
else, Shan?
ear.
Vision.
Trying to think.
You
There's
said
anything
a radiant
specific.
vision, right?
Yeah, I think there's gonna be a radiant vision. Like one last. He's gonna have one last because this is the best place for him to have them, and he's had something every time,
Yep.
almost every episode. So
100%.
I think, cause especially if he goes back to the temple, and God forbid he looks at that statue.
Mm-hmm.
And he remembers something because now he definitely thinks he's seeing Theolon. I'm having visions of Theolon. So I don't know that because a lot of my predictions are like similar, like just different versions of other people's. So it's like hard to kind of come up with something different and specific because like all my thoughts are similar to other people, but perhaps like different wordings. Who knows? Maybe the halfling comes after Radiant one last time.
Poro redeemed.
Yeah, poor routine.
Yeah. All right. I love the combat with minis idea. Boom.
Sorry,
Shannon does
I
too,
leaned on
apparently.
my dice tray. I forgot it wasn't fully on my desk, and I
So it
leaned
went.
on the. Yeah, that was my fault. I'm holding it now. I'm holding down by the top, so I don't do it
Excellent.
again.
Yeah, I'll go specific. I'll probably go specific and say that the 4 statues will feature. I won't say anything about combat because I was also thinking that we have not had anything from Mark recently. But maybe I'll go that minis without combat, which we haven't had for some time. But I think it would be kind of cool for that to be the case.
Have
Cool.
we ever had miniature
The boat.
combat?
Yes, the boat.
Oh, the boat, yes, of course.
Technically combat, technically not. More mechanic
Technically,
than
yeah.
combat.
Yeah,
Unless you're
I mean,
Eric.
Eric's penis has something to say about that.
Eric's penis.
One exception. What's that meme where it's like, no combat. And it's like, well, what about Eric? He's like, 1 combat.
Yep. Exactly. All right. Are we happy with everything from 52? I think we are.
Can't think of anything else.
All right. Well, then I think we can dispense with the spoilers. Whoa, that's loud.
I'm
Whoever's doing that.
underwater.
Okay. Let's do topic Mop Up. I am sorry to say I do not have one, but I do have.
I don't have a mop either.
I've got my water bottle.
I got something else to.
Oh,
introduce mop.
that's good though. Short track. That's
mop.
on.
That
That's
mop's
on brand.
On
Yes.
theme.
Yep, on brand.
But I can't keep it here without holding it in my
Excellent.
hand.
Anything? Any other business? We've got Harry. I think did Harry send anything, Shan? I honestly
I
can't
didn't
remember.
see anything.
I also forgot to ask him.
We might not. Yeah, we might not have asked him.
We'll have to
We
save.
were both a little bit out of sorts this week.
We'll
I
have to
think.
save Harry's moment probably for the next one. I don't have anything. Let me see if he sent me anything. Privately. Yes. Mod Harry moment today was I really like the tonal shift that happened with the surprised Barra broadcast. It broke the piece in a fun way with the setup with the dresses and brought the moment of refocusing about what it's all about. It was a cool scene and it makes sense for Barabas to try and create the narrative first. Fun way to put the players on the back foot a little bit. And then he sent a meme of Barack Obama giving himself a medal.
Oh yeah. I know the one. It's what I do.
Exactly.
Yep.
Exactly. Cool. Shall we roll some polies? Shan, you're going to have to roll for me.
Okay. I'll roll for you first.
My very Polish setup.
Ooh, there's a very lovely dice tower.
Mine's on
That
my
symbol?
new shelf back
we
there.
have news.
And-
I believe that Mark will be at MCM
He will
with
be,
with a booth. It sounds like.
Yes, yep.
You are one lucky duck that I said I would roll you first. Mine
Am I in
better
trouble?
be half as good as this. I'll be so mad, dog.
Everyone in the known universe heard every dice roll from Short Trek.
Oops, sorry about that.
Doc, you are
microphone's
so
on
Am I in trouble,
lucky.
Shan?
I'll put it this way. If my roll's really bad, I'm going to be mad.
That's all right. You're always mad at me anyway.
Bro! You're joking!
Andy.
Thoroughly in the not quite disappointing, but meh. According to Harry's scale of
Aha. Below
76.
75 then?
Yeah,
Go on.
66.
66. Do you want to roll for Jazzy?
Let's roll for Jazzy. Oh, typically Jazzy's going to do a lot better than that.
Shan's still cursing my name.
I'm so mad.
118 for Jazzy.
118 for Jazzy. Nice. Short Trek.
60.
60.
Pretty bad.
Shannon.
I got 41.
41. Whoa. That's
Oh.
rough.
Oh, just you wait. It gets worse.
Does it now?
Because I was so kind and generous and
You
told
were.
Doc I would roll him first.
Yep.
He got a 127.
Wow.
I think that might be the highest I've rolled.
You got a 90 and a 20.
Well, the 90 helps, obviously.
I want to throw up
Um,
into my dice tray.
Please don't. Please don't. Right.
No
well,
good
would
deed
you
goes
be so
unpunished.
kind as to roll initiative for me as well? This will be a nat 20 for sure. At this
Yeah,
rate.
will it? All right. You got a 13. I got a 10.
All right. And
I also got a 13.
excellent. 7.
So
All right. Well, Short Trek can close us out then. Preceded by Shan. And Andy and I need to roll off, which means Shan, you need to roll
Yeah.
again, unfortunately.
Yeah. Where did I put my d20? 18.
Doc's the winner.
Apparently.
I hate this. Why are my dice nice to you and not me? They're my dice.
They know best. Excellent. Well, thank you very much, guys, for joining all of us, especially Short Trek, for his first soiree with us. Hopefully you'll come back. And I'm looking forward to being back home, seeing you guys on next Tuesday. And looking forward to MCM and seeing Andy and Short Trek, I think, both in person again, which will be nice. That's it for me. Andy.
Oh, thanks for having me back on again. Shame Jazzy couldn't make it.
Mm-hmm.
And it was good to have a new guest host
Mm-hmm.
in Short Track. Hopefully you'll come back on again. Shout out to my D&D crew. Actually, Harry came back eventually from sabbatical, so the full crew is back.
Excellent.
And started off the final descent into not quite madness, but yeah, the final arc is starting, so that's good. And yeah, looking forward to MCM and seeing a few of the crew.
Excellent. If you can handle it, Shan, and manage to break through the seething anger, please.
I'm trying to remember. I had something earlier I wanted to shout out. I know I've forgotten it. Probably because I'm so mad. No, it's just because I have poor memory. Well, shout out to you guys. Thanks for being here. And having a grand old time with us, as always. Shout out to the PAX chapter. Thanks for another successful and fun PAX hangout. And hopefully we'll get to do it again next year, maybe with better news. Shout out to Anjali for signing the card for us. That was really funny of her. She was so excited once we said what it was for, and telling us how much she loves Natural Six and loves doing stuff with them. So shout out to her. Shout out to the Flyers. Please win tonight. That would be really nice. Shout out to, there was something like, well, shout out obviously to the crew of the Integrity. I hope you guys come home safe. I'm trying to remember, there was something like weirdly specific that I had a shout out for that was like, I wish I could remember what it was. But it's gonna be really stupid. Something like deeply dumb. And I'm just like racking my brain to remember what it was. I don't know. I forgot. All thoughts have left my head. So I guess that's it. Because it's crazy that I thought I had something really funny to do, and then I've, for the life of me,
Well, you can write
can't
it down for
remember
next
what it
time,
was.
Shan.
I guess. I mean, if I ever remember. Apparently, all thought of shout out has just left my brain. Can't think of anything.
It's like when it comes to prediction times, your mind goes blank.
I remembered it. Shout out to, I didn't tell this story during the PAX bit, but shout out to the Moogle Pope who was at PAX last year, and we actually saw him, like, he was literally in line with us when we found out about American Pope. But specifically shout out to him because when we saw him on Sunday, which was, as all good Catholics know, Palm Sunday. And I went up to him and in my infinite wisdom yelled, Palm Sunday! Because Moogles have a palm on there, like a POM palm.
Mm-hmm.
So I went up to him and I was like, the Moogle Pope on Palm Sunday. And he went to give me a benediction and stopped and went, oh my God. And Mike was like, you didn't realize it either? And he's like, no. And he's like, yo, you broke that, man. Because I didn't I literally earlier in the day was like, oh my God, this is the perfect opportunity for a pun. Palm Sunday. And then I saw him and got to tell him and he didn't know.
Mm-hmm.
So I got a benediction from the Moogle Pope on Palm Sunday. Shout out to him. I'm glad that he's still doing the cosplay. He did it like all weekend. Like, I love that. I think that's really funny. Yeah. So
That
shout out
is
to
commitment
them.
to the bit.
I knocked something off my desk. Oh well.
Excellent. I'm glad that you remembered, Shan.
Yep.
Last but definitely not least, Short Trek to close us out.
Yes, shout out to you guys. Thank you so much for having me on. Shout out to all of the Six-Pack,
Mm-hmm.
everyone who's watching this and who contributes to Patreon, contributes to Discord and everything else. And of course, we have to shout out the Natural Six for 50 episodes, 2+ years, and how many more to come? Hopefully, many more.
Long may it continue.
Thank
Long
you
may
guys.
they reign.
Mm-hmm.
If you'll have me on again, I'd love to do it.
Excellent.
Thanks.
Cool. All right. Anything else, guys? If not, go and subscribe to the Patreon if you haven't already. You
Strange people that are on this podcast that
Strangers.
haven't already
Yeah.
done. Yeah.
cool.
Just do it.
Excellent. We out. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.